All right, what's good? What's good? Hope everybody's well. I'm gonna take a couple minutes. I know there's gonna be some time for people to get in here because I'm running a little bit late, very real late this morning. But wanted to make sure we had a little conversation about boxing today. Hope you guys are doing well. Life is good, man. Wait for some of y'all to come on in. Wait for y'all to get on in. Wait for y'all to get on in. Make sure this is together. Good night of fights last night. Okay, I wonder if this is live. This should not take this long. 35. Okay, yeah, we got people in here. Jay Miller in the building. What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? Yes, sir. John Gary, good morning, man. What's going on, man? Fundura's gonna have trouble with Charlo. Yeah, man. We'll get into that, man. Ja, what's going on, man? Powerhouse Watson, what's going on, man? Lawrence Johnson in the building. What's going on? Miat the Great, what's happening? Kenneth Johnson, what's good? Yeah, we're live. William Baylor in the building. What's going on, man? Angry Black Alley Cat, FBA for life B1. you got me reading. You got me reading something there, man. What's going on? Sorry for the late show today, man. YouTube. Woo, YouTube. Yesterday was on one yesterday, man. Missed the fights last night. Yeah, actually, dude, I saw a lot of the highlights and stuff. I'm at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna probably sit down and try to watch and just try to chill and watch the fight. But so if cats want to get on, man, let's get on and do this early today. We're here for a good time, not a long time today. Definitely took a little bit of a break yesterday. My son was out for basketball. What's going on, Ryan Young? How you feeling? Jeff Campbell in the building. What's going on, man? Charlo will beat the organs out of Fundora. I told y'all don't sleep on. I told y'all about that. I was like, hey, look, man, he looked good against Lubin, but the last guy he fought, wasn't a world beater against the last guy he fought. Powers, I just rewatched Spence Ugas. I think he will beat the will out of Crawford if it happens. Hey, man, it's gonna be a great fight, man. It's gonna be a great fight. Tony T said Fundora's weak AS. PBC trying to hype him up to feed him to Errol or the twin. Hey, man, he's out there, man. He's out there trying to do his thing. You're gonna have to beat him. Somebody gonna have to beat him. I'm ready for you to drop them jewels on us, Charlo, by devastating knockout. Hey, man, don't lunch. That's a big ass boy, man. But like I said, man, I saw the highlights for that fight. Saw the highlights for Carlos Adames, so I'm gonna be watching them. I'm gonna be watching them later on today, man. Yes, the Charlo's body work is but you can't keep getting hit with a ton of uppercuts while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Speaking of basketball and boxing, what do I think of Draymond's punch? It's a very good, solid punch. But I don't like Draymond Green. Never have. Think he's a jackass. But what can I say, man? You know what I'm saying? What can I say? Yeah, you can't sleep on him because of those uppercuts, man. Am I doing a watch party for Wilder Helenius next weekend, OG? Yes, I am. That one for sure. That I might, man, dude. I'm gonna be all day on next weekend. Glad that was my son's last tournament of the last Saturday tournament in a while. So we should be able to do it. Yeah, I don't really like him, man. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan of him at all, man. That's all I can say. I'm not a big fan of Draymond Green at all. I think Draymond Green's a jackass, But, it is what it is, man. He stole on that dude with his hands down. That man's hand wasn't looking for that shot, man. He wasn't looking for that shot, man. But, keep your hands up, man. Keep your hands up. Oh, how did he do it? I mean, they won. They won one game and lost. They won 2 games and lost 1. He played well. He's playing point guard, so it's funny, man. He's playing really nice as a point guard. He's always a taller kid, not super tall, over 6 feet, but always playing with short kids. So always like the coaches always, put the ball, the point guard position in the hands of the shortest dude because that's the only position he could play, But now he's playing point guard, so I think he's really coming into his own playing his position. Mark McQuarrie said, "Good morning, Fanon, International and the live show." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Jermell will KO Fundora under 6 rounds. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna judge it just off one fight. You know, I'm not gonna judge it off of one fight. I'm telling you, you got to get in the ring with somebody that tall. You know, man. You know, somebody that tall with very nice uppercuts, likes to mix it up on the inside. I got Jermell winning the fight, but it's still just such an awkward situation, man. No, it's just such an awkward situation that you just got to see, man. Need to see She-Gate. What does that mean? She needs to see She-Gate. What's that mean? I got Plant over Durrell. What about you, Fanon? Oh, I got Plant over Anthony Durrell. Yeah, I got him over Anthony Durrell. Yeah, for sure, man. I do. We'll see, though. Boston said Fedora gets hit a lot. Yeah, he does get hit a lot, and he also gets hit flush on that chin a lot. He gets hit flush on that chin a lot. Lubin was piecing him up nicely. But again, getting out of the way, you got to get on the inside of them, and those uppercuts, you know, those uppercuts on the inside can do a lot of work on you, man. You know, they do a good amount of work on you. So we'll see what happens, man. Fundora should have fought Tim Tszyu. Well, Tim Tszyu's not going to fight Fundora because Tim Tszyu's going to get a shot at Jermell, and I think Jermell's going to beat him up. You know, I think Jermell is going to beat him up, man. So that boy, Ugas finally recovered from the car crash with Spence. Will his eye ever be the same? Probably not, man. I don't know cats that have recovered from broken orbital bones very well. It's subject to get broken again, you know? It's really subject to get broken again. So I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to do that or not, man. You know, whether or not he's going to I don't know whether or not he's going to be able to do that or not, man. You know, whether or not he's going to be able to come all the way back, man. That was this very, very severe beating that he took, man. You know, that was a very, very severe beating that he took. So I'm not sure. He said orbital bone is behind the bone. I'm just telling you, man, when you take that type of beating, man, it's not guaranteed you're going to come back from that. You know, it's not guaranteed that you're going to come back, that you're going to be the same or any of that. Because you got those screws in your head, and it could mess with the pressure on the other side. As people would point out consistently when Errol broke the orbital bone of Kell Brook. I said that in the video before the fight took place. I was like, man, he could probably break this guy's all the screws this guy got in his head. Man, that's going to be very, very difficult. That's why I also don't put a lot of credence into that to Terrence Crawford getting him. As soon as he got hit in that eye, bro, that dude was like, you don't want to get that eye. He didn't want to get that sucker broken again. And so I think he was up in that. I just think he was in that in there for that payday. Did Lubin get healed up yet? I don't know, man. We'll see when they announce those fights, when they announce that fight, or when they announce other fights. You know what I mean? When they announce some other ones. Why do people think Devin versus Shakur is some major $50 million fight down the line? I don't think Devin will ever be on pay-per-view without Tank, so I doubt it. Yeah, hey, man, look, yeah, those guys trying to find a way. Them dudes trying to find a way not to take that fight at all. It's down the line because you don't want it now. It ain't getting any bigger than it is in Undisputed at 135. How does it get any bigger? By going to 140, you know, like where they don't have any belts years down the line. I don't buy it, man. I think that's a stay safe so neither one of us lose. Even though Shakur, I think Shakur would take that fight. But, anyway, man, so I'm going to put some links in the chat, man. Again, hey, man, much love to everybody that supports in the Super Chat and the Cash App. I know y'all can't do it all the time, but it is definitely what keeps the channel going. Anybody, now people said that nobody wanted to smoke with me because, hey, hold on a second, man. Because it was the middle of the day, but we'll see, man. If anybody wants to do it, because if we're gonna do any kind of conversation today, we got to do it early. Because I ain't gonna be out here all day, bro. Not this morning, man. Lubin looked real bad after that Fortuna. He should have stopped it early. Yeah, I mean, he had hematoma. He had a big hematoma on his head, man. He took a lot of punishment in that fight, man. What's going on, Just a Fan? I'm chilling, man. Just getting out here talking a little boxing this morning. You know what it is. That's it. Just out here talking a little bit of boxing. Trying to pass the morning, help, have people pass the morning, man. Yep, hit that like button, man. Lubin looked really bad after Fortuna. They should have stopped that early. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Okay, I'm already read that, man. Smash that like button. Yes, sir. Hit that like button, man. We only got 149 people in the building, so your likes would be greatly, greatly appreciated, man. Likes would definitely be appreciated, even though I kind of feel like I want to change the topic of this video. You hear Ruiz call out Fury, so what? Yeah. Andy Ruiz calling out Fury. Yeah. Man, Tyson Fury ain't fighting anybody, man. Tyson Fury's about to go fight Derek Chisora. Like, man, you can't make this stuff up, man. This guy's about to go to Derek Chisora. Dillian White to Derek Chisora. That's a way to kill that heavyweight division. I think Fundora knows his push resistance is dwindling, so makes sense to go after Charlo. I mean, he has that's the guy with all the belts, man. You got people saying that, but Spence versus Bud will not be making $25 million a piece. I don't think, depending on the pay-per-view, but everybody's stealing nowadays. Who knows, man? I don't know, man. I just want them to move on, man. If they're not gonna make this fight somebody else. That's my thing, man. Just if you're not gonna make that, and I'm being selfish, obviously, but if you're not gonna make that fight, man, if you can't make that fight next, man, just let's move on, bro. You know what I mean? Gary says, salute for nine, you the GOAT of the boxing podcast. What is your favorite boxing match? If you could make any match today with current fighters, what would it be? If I can make any match with current fighters today, what would it be? Jermell Charlo versus Errol Spence Jr. That's my favorite matchup. That is a bloody that is a war, bro. That is an absolute positive war. Absolutely positively a war. I don't think you can get better than that. I don't think you can get any better than that fight. No joke. I mean, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. is right there too. Free Showtime boxing, no announcements. Yeah, man, I wish they'd come on with their card, man. Stop holding up the card, man. I want to know when Jerron's fighting next. That's me. I mean, I keep doing the updates on the Errol Spence Jr. stuff and all of that. That's all good. That's all fine and dandy. But, at the same time, man, bring it on. Bud versus Keith, I'll take that. I'll take any of these fights at 147 right now. I want Benavidez Alvarez for selfish reasons. Oh, yeah, that would be a good one, but I still would prefer Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. I would still prefer that fight. I would still prepare that. I would still prefer that fight. Yeah, Justin James, I saw that, man. I did. Jeff Campbell said a Boots Thurman announcement would have been dope. Yeah, man, it would. But these guys we'll see, man. We'll see what they're doing, man. We'll see what they're doing. I'm not particularly hopeful, brother, that they're gonna make this. We're gonna have a whole lot of good fights this year. That's kind of where I am. Lawrence Johnson said, I'm pretty sure all of those European heavyweights knows Fury is cycling off. I like to Fury versus Joyce. Yeah, go ahead and get all them juice bombs together, brother. I saw cats were talking about that yesterday, talking about how easy it is to get over on performance enhancing drugs. That's obvious. Who you got winning in Spence versus Charlo? I don't know. That's why I want to see the fight. I don't know. That would be a hellified fight, man. For me, because that's 3 belts at 147 and 4 belts at 154. I would love to see that fight. I'm just gonna say I don't know on that one. That fight could go either way, man. I do not know. Damon Gray's in the building. What's going on? I said the only way I see Charlo versus Errol versus Charlo being fair is neither fighter has Derek James as a coach. That make the playing field even in my mind. Look, man, if they just make the fight, bro. He ain't gonna sit out. Just make the fight. But I know they're not gonna make the fight, so that's a fantasy fight. So in my fantasy fight, they can have Derek James in both corners. But Jermell Charlo already has another trainer. He has 2 trainers, whose name I always keep forgetting, man. Punch Down Boxing USA. Do you think Gary Antoine Russell is a sleeper at 140? Yeah, for sure. I don't even think he's a sleeper. I think people are wide awake on that, man. I think people are wide awake on him. He's not a sleeper. I think he's one of the top guys in that division. So for sure, bro. I don't even think he's a sleeper. I think he's one of the best guys in that division. Punch Down Boxing USA. I think he's one of the best guys. I mean, after coming off of wins against Postal and Ramses Bartholomew, yeah, I think that he's one of the best guys in that division. And I'm not going to say I know that he's the best because, I know there's definitely guys like Regis Prograis, who's got Zepeda. You got Matias. You have Jose Ramirez. You got Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor in there. Teofimo Lopez is there, man. Teofimo Lopez don't want no smoke with Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez doesn't want to smoke with Gary Antoine Russell, man. I don't believe that, bro. Who do I have in Regis and Gary Antoine? I got Gary Antoine, but it'll be a hell of a fight. It'll be a hell of a fight, but I got Gary in that. Southpaw. I think that Gary's got more power, and Regis is there, to be hit. Even though you're gonna pay a price, you're gonna be paying a price for him. I just think that Gary Antoine is a little bit more fundamentally. Yeah, Jack Cottrell's there, but I'm sorry, I'll believe it when I see it with Jack Cottrell. I know that he fought well against. I know that he fought well against Josh Taylor, but let me see it twice. let me see it twice, man. Gary said Spence versus Charlo would be crazy, but I don't think it happens. They're friends. Yeah, no, I don't think it happens. I mean, people just ask me which fight I would want to see, and that's the fight I would want to see. Being honest, not paying attention to their friendship. Other fights other fights besides that I would like to see is I would like to see Gary. I would like to see Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I think that'd be a great fight. That would be that would be a great fight. Haney versus Stevenson versus Haney is huge. I don't know how huge it is, but it's as big a fight as either one of them going to get anytime soon. With him fighting Cam and Loma next, how much time do you think he has at 135? I think he's got one more fight, maybe two more fights there. One or two more fights there. Yeah, Jack beat Taylor. I mean, he didn't actually win the fight, but but see, I think that was more of the southpaw matchup, man. I think that was more the southpaw matchup than anything else. I'm not putting too much energy into that, man. Who do I have winning, Shakur versus Tank? I don't know. Quite honestly, again, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. I think that is a 50-50 fight, maybe a slight edge towards Shakur. But Shakur better not get hit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Shakur's going to get hit. So it's like you're going to get hit. Why Bud fans blaming Al Heyman? Because that's easy. They're not out because they're not Bud fans. Those are just people that don't like the PBC. That's all that is. They're people that don't like the PBC. So everything is the PBC's fault. It's an easy way to take shots at people. Did you? Yeah, no, I saw. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet. No, but I saw it. I just didn't get a chance to listen to it yet because I wanted to get on. I wanted to get on here I want to get on here real quick this morning, man. Like I said, I don't know how long. No, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on though. Best of Torak said, agreed for now, but I got Shakur. Yeah, I mean it's a good fight any way you cut it, man. I didn't see all of the fights, so I can't speak on Jack Reese. I saw the highlights at 11 o'clock. I'm gonna wait till a little bit, and then I'm gonna start watching these fights around that time. Jermell Jermell. Who is Jermell? Jermell and Carlos Adames. I mean Jermall and Carlos Adames. I got Jermall over Carlos Adames. Carlos Adames ain't beating Jermell Charlo, man. I don't care what you say, man. whatever. What with all that? I don't care what they. I don't care how much Carlos Adames pops his lips. He ain't beating that guy, man. That's my take on it. Anyway, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. You know, I don't think I am. But you know, some people will say because Carlos Adames knocked out Montiel and Jermell went the distance with him that means something. I don't think it does, man. I don't think it does. But we'll see. Salute. Fundora's trouble for all them dudes. I mean, he's going to be trouble for anybody he gets in the ring with because he's so tall. I definitely believe that. He's going to be trouble for anybody that gets in the ring with because he's so tall. That's a lot of reach. That's a lot of reach to deal with, you know? So yeah, for sure. I definitely believe that he's going to be some trouble for some people, man. Smash that like button, hardcore boxer. Yeah, we said smash the like button, hardcore boxer. Yeah, man, hit that like button, man. Hit the like button. We just chopping it up about these fights last night, but no, I haven't listened to it. I got to go back. And listen to it, man. I got to go back and listen. How is he so tall, but then he fight in the pocket? I mean, that's what he likes to do. There's tall guys that like to fight like that. Robert Easter Jr. was like a 5'11" lightweight, and he liked to fight on the inside. People say you don't use your height. Hey man, that's not how he likes to fight. He likes to mix it up. He likes to be on the inside, man. You know. But that's, I mean, a little bit of it's to his advantage because once those guys get in, he likes to fight there. So you would think a disadvantage for him is actually fighting the way that he likes to fight. Yeah, man, that's where I am on it. But you say, yeah, he's too big for that weight class. That's just crazy in my opinion. It is what it is. I mean, if you can make the weight, you can make the weight. If you make the weight, you can make the weight. So he makes the weight. And no biggie about it, man. Lomachenko looking for Devin Haney, although he was the undisputed before T.O. lost. He avoided him. Do you think Lomachenko deserves a shot on Haney now? Man, he didn't avoid him, man. I'm not buying that. Hey, no disrespect to you, Bexatorix. I don't buy that line. That line was old, man. That line never made sense to me. He didn't avoid him. He fought Teofimo Lopez and he lost. I don't believe he wasn't with the same. The dude fought a bunch of fights got his hands on 3 belts, right? Got his hands on 3 belts. Bob Arum, he got elevated him to the franchise championship, and then right after that, he moves over and he fights. He moves over and then he fights Teofimo Lopez and he loses. I don't think he was ever avoiding him, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the dude unified, but that was the that's the song and dance going on around. So anyway, it's hard to get when there was enough singing and dancing. It's hard to get the music out your ears. He didn't vacate the belt. Truth matters. He did not vacate the belt. Truth matters. Truth matters. He did not vacate the belt. And he wasn't as mandatory. What you're saying is not true. Truth matters. What you're saying is not true. Sorry. Was not as mandatory. There you go. Was never as mandatory. And on top of him, even if he was as mandatory, he's still unified. That fight was never ordered. Ever. So I don't know why you get to just magically say that Devin Haney was his mandatory when Devin was never. It is not true. It is not true. I've already talked about it. You can call me a clown all you want. It's not true. He was never ordered to fight him. Never. Never. Yeah, that is what I call people. I could care less. Dude, your opinion of me doesn't matter because you're out here lying. Dude, it's Sunday morning, man. I don't give a fat rat what you think. I know he was never as mandatory. He was never the mandatory. No, he was not. He was never ordered to fight him. Never. The WBC never mandated a fight. Dude, I've already went through it. He was never as mandatory. You can say that shit to you blue in your face. Show me where where there is a note from the WBC where the WBC ordered the fight. No, I'm not going to prove shit to you. You prove it to me. Where the WBC, where you see an announcement from the WBC, where the WBC said, we have mandated Vasily Lomachenko to fight Vasily Lomachenko to fight Devin Haney. You show me. I don't have to pull it up. You have to pull it up. You're the one saying something happened. You show me where the WBC ordered that. Pull it up. I think this is maybe the 400th time I've had this conversation, and none of you can ever pull it up. What do you mean that's what you thought? I don't give a shit what you think. Pull it up. You pull it up. You tell me where it is. Tell me where it is. You want me to pull it up? Pull up what? There's nothing to pull up because it's nowhere out there. You want me to pull up something that doesn't exist? You want me to pull a unicorn in the room? It doesn't matter because it never happened. He's never his mandatory, ever. He was the WBC interim champion, is what he was. He was never the mandatory. Technically, Fanon is actually right because they declined to fight. First of all, declined what fight? He was never ordered to fight him. He was never ordered to fight him. You cannot show me where he's ever. He said he wasn't his mandatory. Being ordered is two different things. No, it's not, stupid. You're not the man. The fight is never mandated. You're not the mandatory. It's not the IBF, you clown. It's not the IBF, you clown. The IBF is the only one that names a mandatory before it's mandated. Clown. The WBC never mandated that fight. He was never the mandatory. So let me go back to calling you a clown. You learn how it works. You learn how it works. I already know how it works. It specifically says in the WBC rules, just by the virtue of being the number one contender doesn't make you the mandatory. You guys sound like those guys that kept saying Dillian White was the mandatory for 300 days. He's the mandatory for 600 days. No, I'm not. Everybody in here knows you're wrong. Truth matters. And you're still trying to defend something that you're wrong about. So you the clown. No, dude. No, you're the clown because you're sitting up here playing jokes. How about this too? It wouldn't even matter if he was the mandatory. Wouldn't even matter. You know why? You know why? He can't post a link. You know why? It wouldn't even have mattered, even if he was the mandatory. Because Teofimo Lopez is a unification fight. He's the IBF champion. Clown. So he had one fight with the WBC belt, and then immediately fought a mandatory. He immediately fought a unification. Immediately. So even if he was the mandatory, it's still not a duck because he unified. You don't have to fight a mandatory when you're unifying. What are you talking about? Don't block this guy. I don't mind making you wrong all day. Man, I know what I'm talking about. I know full well what I'm talking about. He was never the mandatory. Whatever. I could care less who applied for the franchise. Bob Arum did. So what? He was still never his mandatory. So what? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? You might as well ask me who scratched his ass last week. Who cares? Because guess what? He was franchised, which is elevated, and then he lost in a unification fight. Doesn't even matter. He unified. So what? Who cares? Who cares who asked for the franchise? Who cares? You want me to ask what other irrelevant ass question you got? Bob Arum did. Bob Arum asked, now block truth, clown. I'm not going to block you. You're a clown. You're wrong and you look dumb. Don't worry. I've been making people look stupid like this for months. Unifications trump mandatories. and Devin was never the mandatory. Those are two hard, cold facts. And you can go whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. Because unifications trump mandatories. And Devin was never the mandatory. Never the mandatory. The closest that Devin came to being a mandatory was when the WBC was considering ordering Luke Campbell to fight Devin Haney for the vacant WBC belt. The WBC belt vacated by Mikey Garcia. That's the closest he ever came to becoming a mandatory for that belt. But guess what? Vasily Lomachenko became it. Loma fought mandatories between fighting for the undisputed class. So what? So what if he fought a mandatory before a unification? Who cares? So what? Unification still trump mandatories. If he could have got the unification, he could have taken the unification and not been ducking a mandatory. It doesn't matter. Any way you flip that hamburger, buddy, it's still a beef patty. Any way you flip it, it's still a dead cow. Unifications trump mandatories. And Devin was never a mandatory. The closest Devin ever became to being a mandatory was when the WBC was considering ordering him to fight Luke Campbell for Mikey Garcia's vacant belt. But then what happened? Bob Arum came in and convinced the WBC to let Lomachenko fight let Lomachenko fight Luke Campbell instead of Devin Haney. And the WBC said, cool. Sorry, man. I hate that you're wrong, but you're just wrong. You can be wrong again, too. Nah, there's probably more than 2 likes, man. There's probably more than 2 likes. Just not a lot of people here, man, because, I got on real late. Hey, likes up, though? Hold on one second. So whatever, man. Whatever, brother. Any way you flip it, unification trumps mandatories, brother, and unified. So it's not a duck. He also did not drop the belt. He got elevated. He didn't drop it. They gave him the franchise title. They gave it to him. The WBC franchise title. He didn't leave the WBC. He didn't. He got elevated to a franchise title, which is what the WBC called it. And you don't have the right to tell the WBC whether or not they elevated him or not. They didn't strip him and he didn't drop it. They elevated him. Just like Devin Haney did not drop the interim title. He was elevated from the interim title to the WBC title. Sorry. I agree with a lot of what you say, but you're clearly biased against no one. I don't give a fuck what you love or don't love. Truth matters. You're not going to be up here just saying things that are not true. And now you want to run to what my personal feelings are about him. Now you want to get off the truth and then go to just, oh, you just don't like him. I don't care. If I could like him, I could love him. That doesn't make any difference. Unifications trump mandatories. I could love him, I could hate him. Unifications trump mandatories. I could hate you, I could love you. Doesn't matter. That hot dog is a hot dog. Makes no difference. You want to say I hate him. You want to run away from very obvious facts into what my opinion is about Devin. No, I've already told you what I don't like. Truth matters. I don't like people that talk like you do. Because as soon as I tell you something that is an unadulterated fact, it's a fact. Then you want to jump on my personal opinion and boo-hoo me to death. You don't like Dev. First of all, I don't owe anybody to like anybody. It is not my responsibility to like anybody. But my like or dislike doesn't change the fact that unifications trump mandatories. And Devin was never the mandatory. And that Devin Haney did not drop his WBC interim title. He was elevated to the WBC title. anytime you try to prove, I'm proving you to death. I'm proving it to death. Truth matters. I'm over-proving it. Don't nobody think you're right. Everybody already knows it. He was never the mandatory. Just like Dillian White was not the mandatory for 600 days, 6,000 days. It was the mandatory was a guy named Dominic Brazil. It was not the number one rated guy. Just because you wanted Devin Haney to get the fight, just because you wanted to get Devin Haney to fight, doesn't mean Devin Haney was the mandatory partner. He wasn't the mandatory partner. You know he wasn't the mandatory partner. So I don't know why you keep acting like he is, man. Stop telling stories, bro. You're not going to get that. It's not going to move anywhere. Trust me. That shit is not going to sell because it's already known. I've already done this to a bunch of people. I've already done it. Matter of fact, I've probably already done it to you a bunch of times. All right? Devin Haney is the undisputed champion now. And that's what matters because that's the truth. If I was running around saying he wasn't the undisputed champion because he has all 4 belts, then I would be doing what you guys are doing. You are basically saying what is true is not true. Because if you say what's true is true, you don't like Dev. You don't like Dev. You're not Dev's friend. Man, Devin don't need no friends. He don't need me to be his friend. You're not his friend. You just don't like him. Nah, man. I don't like you. Nah, it was worth a little bit of fun, bro. I don't mind doing it. And you can sit here. You said he wasn't his mandatory, and he was. No, he wasn't. His mandatory. Damian Gray said, the only way I see Errol versus... Oh, I got that, brother. I'm bad. That was a long time ago, man. My bad. Jay Mill said, what to do for 9 in the chat. Miss y'all the past few weeks. So here's some green love for the content. Thank you, brother. Your appreciation for the channel is... Thank you, brother. Look, man, just stop lying, bro. I'm not interested in that, bro. Whatever, truth matters. Yo, you just stopped your well past cooked. Shut up. I'm not even going to throw you out because I like talking bad to you. Come back later, boy. Shush for 5 minutes and come back, bro. Shush for 5 minutes and come back, bro. Okay? I mean, it's fun doing that, but I'm only going to do it. Like I said, I'm only going to do it for so long. I don't mind doing it, bro. I could care less. That's not proof at all. Who says that? I could care less that he vacated. He didn't vacate the belts. It's just not true. I will debate anybody on that. He didn't vacate the belt. He got elevated. He got elevated. He didn't vacate a belt. What do you mean? He vacated a belt. I don't care who said that. He didn't vacate that belt. He got elevated. Like, what are you talking about? He vacated it. He got elevated. They created a belt above it, bro. You enjoy this, ain't you? Yeah, I love it. Because it's dude, because that's you want to cook something, bro. You want to say something that's not true because it fits in with your argument, but it's just not true. He got elevated to the franchise championship. He did. The WBC created a belt ahead up that was higher than the WBC belt. They did it with Canelo, and then they did it with Vasily Lomachenko. That's what they did. You don't get it's not none of a YouTube channel doesn't get a vote on that. You know what I mean? You don't get a vote. He's still in the WBC. He's still carrying a WBC belt into the ring. He didn't vacate it. Like, come on, man. You just using a word. You're just using a word that makes it sound bad. Did Devin vacate his WBC interim belt? No, he didn't. He got elevated. He didn't vacate it. He got elevated. So if Devin didn't vacate his WBC interim title when he was given the WBC championship, then the same thing applies to another human being, man. And that's why y'all, when you say what you want, they don't ever want to debate me. Say what you want. They don't come around here with that shit. And I maintain that because that's just not right, bro. You guys want to make Vasily Lomachenko look bad for the hell of making him look bad. And okay, whatever. I just don't think you don't like Vasily. I understand it because Vasily got a lot of credit that Vasily probably didn't deserve. So I can understand the temptation to not like Vasily Lomachenko. But the fact of the matter is you don't get to tell the WBC who their champion is. You don't get to change what they said. We knew what they did with the WBC. They did the same thing with Canelo. And guess what? Canelo maintained being the WBC champion for the purpose of Undisputed at 160 until he let that go and moved to 168. Bro has been watching boxing for a couple of years. Give him a break. Nah, man, they be making stuff up, man. Lawrence Johnson said, ironically enough, I thought the same way after getting roasted by Fanon. That's cool. Truth matters. I mean, look, man, definitions matter. Words matter. You don't get to tell the WBC who their champion is. You don't. The Ring Magazine, you can't be like the Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine gets the name. You're not the Ring Magazine champion if the Ring Magazine says you're their champion. The WBC was very clear that Lomachenko was their champion and that their champion at 135 was the franchise title holder. It was very, very clear what they said. And you're just trying to act like that doesn't, what the WBC said about the WBC belt doesn't mean anything because it doesn't jive with your argument that Devin got ducked by Lomachenko. Even though Lomachenko won the belt, he won the belt and he unified right away. What? This is boxing. Facts are facts. I'm not defending the franchise belt, Jim Papa. What difference does that make, man? Don't try to lead me down no corner. And no disrespect, Jim Papa, but I'm not going down there. Who cares? What does that have to do with what does that have to do with it now? What difference does it make? If Vasily Lomachenko was black, would that mean he did or didn't duck Devin because he's black? What difference does it make? I don't like the franchise belt, just like I don't like the WBA Super belt. I don't like either one of them. But what difference does it make? Unifications trump mandatories. Unifications trump mandatories. He unified, and Devin wasn't the mandatory, period. The WBC was so unclear about the franchise. That was the problem. They were switching the rules up every fight. Loma and Top Rank did not want to fight Devin. Lomachenko and Top Rank may not have wanted to fight Devin, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean he ducked him. Doesn't mean he ducked him. It was a unification. Unifications trump mandatories, period. You guys can talk to you blue in the face. Unifications trump mandatories. Errol Spence Jr. is not ducking Stanley Onsis by trying to fight Terrence Crawford. He's not doing it. Okay? He's not doing it. It's still a unification. And guess what? Even if he did drop the WBC, guess what? It's still a unification. It's still a unification because he had the WBO and the WBA. Any way you cut it, it's a unification fight with Teofimo Lopez. Any way you cut it, it's a unification fight. And unifications trump mandatories. Any way you cut it. Any way you cut it. A unification trumps a mandatory. And any way you cut it, Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez was a unification fight of at least the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. At the very least. That's why Devin has it now. Because if Vasily had not unified the WBO and the WBA, and then unified the WBO, the WBA, and the IBF, Devin Haney wouldn't have those belts. It's not a duck, bro. And you can say it to you blue in the face. It's not a duck. Not by the rules you have for everybody else. Man, you got Maury Zulu. Loma was given all the opportunity to get the belts on and a limited amount of fights. Devin should have been given some of those opportunities. He got the opportunity. He's the undisputed champion. God dog, that's what I'm saying. Will y'all stop doing this? He got his opportunity. He got his opportunity. He did. Last time I checked, he got his opportunity. He should have gotten his opportunity. He did get an opportunity. He got one. Didn't he? What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all doing all that crying, bro, just blew up in your face, man. He got his opportunity. He got an opportunity at Undisputed a lot more easily than Errol Spence did. His route was a lot easier than Errol Spence's was. Wasn't it? Do you think Haney hype was worse than the Lomachenko hype was? No. No, definitely not. Much love in that super chat, bro. Oh, no. Not even in the same ballpark, brother. Mike Kirkland. Not even in the same ballpark, bro. He had to sell his soul. Come on, man. The man is sell his soul. He had to sell his soul. I know you laughing, but God dog. Gun-toting Democrat, why do you dislike Devin so much? I don't dislike him. I dislike your arguments. I don't dislike him. I dislike bullshit. And you guys are swimming in bullshit. I don't need the bullshit. Leave the bullshit on the outside of the door, and I will not say it stinks. Okay? If you got bull crap all over your shoes and you walk into my living room stinking to high heaven, bro, I'm gonna be upset. Will you take the shoes off and go outside with this? Just why would you walk in the house with that? How are you going to defend arguments that make absolutely no sense and then blame me for not liking the guy? You are being dishonest when you do that. It's a fact. If I say Joe Biden is the president of the United States, Joe Biden is the president of the United States. Although I voted for Trump, right? Which I didn't. Don't get it wrong. And because I like Trump, I don't like Joe Biden. Joe Biden is still the president of the United States. It's just an objective fact. You cannot say that somebody ducked somebody for a unification fight. Give me the name of one other person that you can say ducked somebody by taking a unification fight. Give me the name. Give me the name. I don't care. Said Devin made his own lane. He's undisputed. Fanon speaking from an unbiased perspective. Dude, I don't know. This is just facts. These are stone cold facts. And I don't understand why you guys want to argue with these stone cold facts. I just don't understand it. I know you want to make Devin look good. I think you like him too much. That's what I think. I think the problem may not be my dislike because I don't dislike him. I'm being very clear what I dislike. I dislike you guys coming and putting a bunch of crap on other people that don't deserve it. You can say that Lomachenko got a lot of favoritism in his career, which he did. He got championship fights in his second quote unquote professional fight. He got a benefit. Yes, he did. He was definitely overhyped with the things that they were saying. He didn't deserve Fighter of the Year over Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford became undisputed. He didn't. There's a lot of things that were said about Vasily Lomachenko, where Vasily Lomachenko was getting a lot more credit than other people that deserve that credit. And I understand that. That's true. But you cannot say a man ducked somebody he didn't duck. Okay? And you've done it with multiple people. Okay? Multiple people. Vasily Lomachenko is not the only one. He's not the only one you did it to. All I'm saying is, man, come on, bro. Don't tell me that because I don't want to hear it, man. I just don't want to hear it. because it's not true. There's enough that I can complain about with Vasily Lomachenko. I don't need to make shit up just to make Errol look good. I don't need to be like, oh, Terrence really ducked Errol. Why? Why did Terrence duck Errol? Well, he ducked him because, he could have moved up. He could have moved up to 147. He was the mandatory because, this is why. He ducked him because he was the WBC mandatory. What? When was Terrence Crawford ever the WBC mandatory? Well, even though the answer is never, is the answer to that question. He was the WBC champion down there at 140. He was WBC champion at 140. So really, when he came up, Errol knew that he was going to come up, but he wouldn't fight him. That's why he didn't fight him for the WBC title, because really, that's why he had to fight Jeff Hearn, because Errol wouldn't fight him for the WBC, even though at the time, Errol didn't even have the WBC. But, that's the argument that you're making, man, because you don't have to do that anymore. Devin's the undisputed champion. You don't have to do that anymore. Jam in the building. Much love, bro. It's totally unnecessary, bro. For 9, why didn't Loma just take the unification while still holding on to the original belt? He had the belt. He got elevated. That's what the WBC said it was. He has the WBC. He was franchised. The WBC said that you are our champion. We are going to make you the franchise champion. And they wanted to make a bunch of franchise champions. They made another belt in the WBC that was higher than the WBC world belt. The WBC franchise belt was just like the WBA Super belt that Devin has. You realize Devin does not have any mandatory for the WBA? Why? Because the WBA made a belt higher than the WBC World Championship. The WBC World Championship belt is the one that Gervonta has. The WBA Super does not have a mandatory. And guess what? If you get stripped of the WBA Super belt and you fight somebody, the guy that beat you does not get the WBA Super belt. Did you know that? Giselle Corrales fought Alberto Machado, and he got stripped because he missed weight, and the fight went through. And they thought that they were fighting for the WBA Super belt. They weren't. Machado became the WBA regular champion, even though that was a belt that Giselle Corrales didn't even have. But you don't have a problem with Devin being the WBA champion, do you? Do you? The WBC has a right to do that, but the WBA has a right to do that. The WBC doesn't. It's not just it's a WBC title. It's not all. They said that he is the franchise champion. The WBC said Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos are the undisputed champion. They are our champion. Yes, they are. You guys can try to say something different till you turn blue in the face. You don't run the WBC. You don't get to make up their rules. Mauricio Suleiman makes up their rules, just like Dougie Fisher makes up their rules. Come on, man. I don't understand why you even do it. Only due to corruption. No, it was due to their rules. You can say it was corruption. You can say it wasn't corruption. So what? The WBA made their franchise belt because of corruption. Dude, shut up. Michael Lords, I stop it. I read the website. Man, go away. Anyway, man, y'all live in your dreams. Like I say, you live in your dreams where you can you can manipulate records. You can manipulate facts in any way, shape, or form. Where you can say the WBC tells you that we have elevated you to the franchise championship. Give you a franchise belt in the ring, but it doesn't count. When the WBA has literally the same thing. I've already read the website where it says that the WBA champion is the champion, and then it has somebody listed as the franchise. I could care less what their website says. I listen to what the president of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, said about it. Man, get out of here, bro. Any way you cut it, he didn't duck. He said it was BS, but still technically it was not ducking. It wasn't ducking. It's like man, you got to tell people what their rules are. Mauricio Suleiman said it, bro. Excuse me, that's not what he said. Jay Free, it's not what he said. He didn't say that originally say the franchise was not a belt, it was not transferable. It's not what he said. It's not what he said. He didn't say it wasn't a belt. He never said it wasn't a belt. And he never said they weren't mandated. And he definitely said that that's our champion. Because you had to have the WBC belt to get it. Whatever, man. You think you can tell these guys their rules? Go tell them their rules. I'm glad Devin didn't take it so we don't have to talk about it. He did say what? He said it was non-transferable. Yes, he did say it was non-transferable. But he never said it wasn't a belt. They got a franchise belt. It's the franchise title. It's called the franchise title. It's called the franchise title. Literally called the WBC franchise title. It's the WBC franchise title. It's not the WBC franchise designation. It's not what they call it. They call it he's our franchise champion is what they call him. They call him a champion. They are saying that's his championship. Bro, there's a WBC franchise belt. They called him his champion. There's his champion. Any way you cut it, but so what? That's one thing. How about the fact that he lost? Anyway, man, whatever, man. You guys keep making shit up. I'm not going to lose debates with you, bro. I'm saying, I'm never going to lose a debate by trying to say that something is true that is not true. You know the WBC said that George Kambosos was undisputed. And you know that he said, what's going on, Lone Star Steph? You also know that the WBC said that Teofimo Lopez was undisputed. You know that. The WBC said they were undisputed. If they were not undisputed, then how did you get there? How did he become undisputed if Devin was the champion and not Teofimo Lopez? And not, you see what I'm saying? I of course I do, bro. Of course I do. Anyway, Eddie Hearn looks terrible in the wake of this Conor Benn fiasco. DAZN looks like they're heading in the trash can. Honestly, man, that was really shameful and very sad thing to say. It was a very sad. Why you acting like a hodo? Why you acting like a hodo? Hey, man. I don't know what to say to you, Product 909. You don't spend money on pay-per-views. Why don't you buy tickets to fights, man? How about you buy a ticket to a fight, right? Why you acting like a hodo? Man, I ain't lose shit. What are you talking about? I lost one. I ain't lose shit on this one. You guys just making shit up. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can just stand there and say that there's a unicorn in your room as long as you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You can just stand there and be, oh, that's a unicorn, till you're blue in the face, bro. You can say the same thing till you're blue in the face. That man did not duck Devin Haney, brother. He had a unification fight. Unification's Trump mandatories. The WBC said that they elevated that man to the franchise title. You can call him franchise titleist. You can call him a franchise designation. You can call it a franchise certificate. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Mauricio Suleiman said that man was undisputed, that George Kambosos is undisputed. Man, there's videos. Man, yeah, there's a lot of videos out there, man. A lot of videos. Whole lot of videos out there. Anyway, man, sorry, but he did duck Devin. Whatever, bro. Like, whatever. Sure he did. He ducked a non-mandatory for a unification fight. How do you do that? How do you duck a unification? How do you duck a mandatory for a unification? Just, can you give me somebody else that did that? Gun-toting Democrat? Just give me 2 examples of other people who ducked somebody for a unification fight. I never said that. Gun-toting Democrat, I never said that. Disagreed with it every second. I never said that. You give me one example. Other than Vasily Lomachenko. Give me 2 examples of somebody that ducked somebody for a unification fight. It's never been different. I've always said that. Never changed my mind. Never said he ducked him. Never. I've argued with that every time anybody's ever told me that. Because you can be disrespectful, you can be respectful. It's never been said by me. I've never said that. If the words "he ducked him" ever came out of my mouth, it was like this. All right, if you want to say he ducked him, fine. So if you want to say he was mandatory, fine. But doesn't unification trump mandatory? I've been saying this ever since that it happened. Please let me know respectfully. Name 2 people that have ducked somebody with a unification fight. Name them. Name them. Name them. He was never mandatory. Never. And it doesn't even matter if he was a mandatory before. Doesn't even matter. He fought him in his first fight. How's that possible? He won the belt, the vacant belt, and then he lost in his very next fight. How is that even possible? He fought Luke Campbell for the WBC belt. His very next fight was Teofimo Lopez. The very next one. How could you duck? He won the fight. He won the belt, and then immediately fought Teofimo Lopez. Where was his opportunity to duck, please? Give me an example, and I'm waiting on it, of somebody taking a unification fight and ducking a mandatory. Give me it. Because he won the belt against Luke Campbell, and his very next fight was against Teofimo Lopez, and he lost. Give me one more example of that ever happening in boxing, where you said somebody won a title, and in his very next fight, unified titles, but he ducked a mandatory. Give me an example. This all happened before Teo fought. Not even possible, partner. It's not even possible. You know why that's not possible, Raw Ward? Because Vasily Lomachenko wasn't in the WBC. He was not in the WBC. When he unified with Richard Comey, right after that, he fought Lomachenko. He got the IBF belt, then he fought Lomachenko. But you're talking about whether or not Lomachenko ducked Devin. Lomachenko won against Luke Campbell, and his very next fight was for Undisputed. It was a unification. It was his very next fight. Why y'all lying? You guys got to tell me why you're lying. That's what I need to know. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? This is interesting to me. Why are you lying? You can go to BoxRec very easily. Very easily. This is very easy to look at. Very easy to look at. You're lying. Dead straight lying. You heard what I said. I said lying. Because y'all are either a lot dumber than I think. You shouldn't be able to type. Okay? We are lying to keep us at the top of the food chain, Fanon. I don't even know why y'all lying. Because it's right here. It's right here. This ain't complicated. This is Vasily Lomachenko's record. Vasily Lomachenko fought Jose Pedraza. He beat Jorge Linares for the WBA belt. He unified against Jose Pedraza. He fought Anthony Corolla. Was he supposed to fight Devin instead of Anthony Corolla for the WBA and the WBO? No. He fought Lil Campbell for the WBC. That was ordered by the WBC. The WBC ordered this fight. They ordered Luke Campbell versus Vasily Lomachenko for the WBC vacant world title. Right? Then after that, he unified for the IBF with Teofimo Lopez, and he lost. He fought in July, and then 1 year later, in October, he lost. Where's the duck? He won the title here. He lost the title here. What's the duck? Won the title here, lost the title here. What's the duck? What's the duck? Won the title here, lost the title here. What's the duck? The franchise belt is crazy. I hate the franchise belt. Insults, Fanon, Michael. Look, dude, you were insulting my intelligence. I'm not talking to you. Insults, man, I ain't above insulting nobody. Y'all ain't above insulting me. Hey, what's going on, bro? Fanon, they have to be young because one guy's still claiming he a Democrat. Nah, it's funny, man. Much love in that super chat, bro. 1 year later, so what? It's one fight. What's he supposed to do? It's a pandemic, dumbass. Hey, dumbass. There was a pandemic. Did you hear of it, Raw Ward? Did you hear about that pandemic that took place in 2019? Did you hear about that pandemic? Huh? SpongeBob? They didn't teach you about you didn't notice a pandemic during the year 2019, 20, and 21? It was before the pandemic now. Now the pandemic wasn't in 2019. Okay, yeah, bro. Now there wasn't no no, it was before the pandemic. Yeah, okay. Now I know. Now you got to shut up for a second, Raw Ward. Now the dude's supposed to fight him in the pandemic, bro. You got to shush. You got to shush for 5 minutes. Anyway, that was fun. I'm done with it, though. I can't do any more of that, brother. I can't do any more of that, bro. But yes, sir, man. Much love in that. Yeah, he's supposed to fight like I thought, bro. They were freezing Devin out because he was an independent model, and you, meaning Aram Suleiman, didn't want to work. I could care less about any of that crap, bro. He didn't do. Stop it. Man, you got 99 excuses. Man, whatever, bro. Whatever, man. Whatever, bro. Whatever. The pandemic. Hey, now you know pandemics. He got to fight him in the middle of a pandemic, bro. With all the stadiums closed, you know what I'm saying? With all the stadium closed, I didn't change nothing, gun, goat, and Democrat. Nothing. I've been saying this the entire time. I have never said that Vasily Lomachenko tucked Devin Haney. I've never said it. I don't even know why you're acting like I said it. I never said it. I've never believed it. I have never believed it. Ever. I've never believed that. Because unifications trump mandatories. And the fight with Devin Haney was never, ever actually ordered. And he lost to Teofimo Lopez. I don't believe that's a duck for anybody. I don't believe it's a duck for anybody in boxing. Carry on, sir. Hey, man, bro, you carry on. Hey, dude, I've seen you a lot in the chat, gun-toting Democrat. But you have never heard me say that because I've never believed it. I don't believe that. You asked me if Devin Haney can beat Lomachenko. I said, oh, yeah, he's got a really good chance of beating him. But come on, man. If you unify, you're not ducking a mandatory. And all of that franchise belt stuff and all that goofy stuff that the WBC did, Lomachenko didn't make them create a franchise belt. He said, Loma, how dare you not fight Devin during a worldwide pandemic? Like, dude, that's why dude, come on, man. Only for the funk, man. Only the funk. Say you are correct. If the WBA ruled they were undisputed, but it was after the general court of opinion was saying they were not undisputed. But look, only the funk. There is no general court of approval. There is no such thing as a general court of opinion. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. No such thing at all. There's no such thing as that. That is like people saying that's like that. Be careful with that general court of opinion stuff. Okay? Because that can get you in a lot of trouble. And I try to tell y'all, Devin Haney fans, don't go with any line. Don't go with any and every line that is thrown out there. You're going to wind up looking bad. And I mean it, man. You're just going to wind up, eventually you're going to wind up looking bad. And I mean that, bro. Eventually you're going to wind up looking bad because you're trying to buy everything that they sell. Subjugated Truth said, I missed the super chat, brother. Thank you, brother. Let me go back, man. I'm sorry. So anyway, we can get, like I said, there's a link on this chat, brother. There was a link here, man. You guys are kidnapping my channel with this nonsense. Corey Smith said, keep up the great work, my guy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for that support, bro. And Subjugated Truth said, morning, Fanon. How likely will Devin fight a Shakur 140, 140, 135 or 140? I don't think it's likely at all. I don't think it's likely at all, man. I don't think it's likely at all, bro. I don't think it matters at all, bro. Then the WBC tried to save Lomachenko. That's fine. They tried to save Lomachenko. That's fine, bro. Devin Haney got a shot at Undisputed Championship way easier than Errol did, bro. Please forgive me if I'm not crying tears that he had to wait, that he couldn't get it, that basically all the belts were collected for him, and then he got the fight that he wanted for all of that. You know what I'm saying? He got everything he wanted. I still don't understand what y'all are complaining about. No joke, bro. Like, you got everything. He got everything he ever wanted, and you still complain about it. And you still complain about it. I just don't get you. I don't understand y'all. I just don't understand. You literally got everything that you want. This man is the undisputed champion. As soon as an opportunity came up for him to get a fight, he got the fight for Undisputed in one fight, bro. He did. Wow, what? He literally got everything he wanted. What didn't he get? Here's the link, gun-coating Democrat. Here's the link. Please come tell me what he wanted that he did not get. Let me know. He didn't take a pay cut. You guys said he had to take a pay cut to sign with Bob Arum, but he didn't. Not according to Leonard Ellerby. He's still making more money than every other lightweight around him at Top Rank. He got a shot for Undisputed. He's how old is he? 23 years old. For all that bad stuff that happened to him, Lomachenko moved up. What did he get? Did he have to fight somebody for the belt? No, they immediately gave him the belt. They literally gave the man the belt. And then, what was it, 2-3 fights later, he got a fight for Undisputed? Dude, please. Dude, he left Showtime. Nobody even knew him, and he got a multi-million-dollar contract with DAZN? I mean, I'm serious, man. I don't understand how y'all just act like this dude is so mistreated. Dude, you got guys that ain't making nowhere near the money he is, ain't nowhere near getting the opportunities that he's getting. And you guys still, like, if I literally don't jump down to my knees and start crying for his freedom, there's something wrong with me. Like, no, man, you guys are overdue. You overcooking it, bro. He's not a contender anymore. He doesn't need it. Terry Schmoot in the building said, just saw your live. Can you reach out the link? Just did it. Okay, cool. Much love in that super chat, bro. My God, that man is winning. How much more does he got to win? Like you want to be named? You want to be named? Just give him Tyson Fury's belts? Like what the fuck you want? Anyway, Jesus, and I mean this. Again, you guys act like why I hate on Dev. You guys are literally acting like this dude has been so mistreated. He's 19 years old. He gets his own promotional company at 19 years old. Is immediately put on Showtime. As soon as he is old enough to stop fighting in Mexico, he gets put on Showbox and featured on Showbox. From Showbox, who the hell else in boxing has ever been given this? Right out of Showbox, you get a multi-million-dollar what's he making? $3-4 million a fight on the zone?
I think it was a 3.5. I think it was 3.5 million a fight under Eddie Hearn.
He gets $3.5 million a year on the zone. And then he gets fights on the zone. When Lomachenko, he doesn't get to fight with Lomachenko, and Lomachenko does whatever you want to call it. He gets that franchise belt. What do they do with Devin? What does the WBC immediately do with Devin? They immediately give him the belt. They didn't treat him like Rigondeaux.
They called it the pride belt, though.
Like he wasn't out here running around like Guillermo Rigondeaux. And then what did he take him 3 fights before he got a fight? He moves over to Top Rank, gets a multi-fight deal with Top Rank that y'all said was some big pay deduction when it winds up not being the case.
It was a slave contract.
Basically getting the same money to go to Top Rank, and he gets an undisputed shot in his very first time. And he gets an undisputed shot, all the belts at once, against a guy that's a fucking mismatch to begin with. Come on, man. You act as if this young man has been, all of the boxing world has been out to get him. And you can't tell me anybody. Name another fighter besides Vasily Lomachenko that has been as privileged as Devin Haney has been in his career. Name one.
Canelo.
Who?
Canelo. Canelo was privileged, though.
Canelo, maybe
Canelo. Fought real fights, though.
But Canelo sells tickets. Canelo sells tickets.
True. And
Canelo Alvarez is a big draw. Canelo Alvarez didn't get anybody paying him all that money without him acting. He had to earn that shit on pay-per-views.
True.
Devin don't even sell like that. Devin is literally making, if what you guys are saying is true, this man is making as much money as Gervonta Davis is, and he doesn't have to sell out arenas, and he doesn't have to sell out, and he doesn't have to sell pay-per-views. And Devin saying he makes as much money as Gervonta. Gervonta, if what Devin says is true, and Gervonta is getting, and he gets paid as much as Gervonta, he's getting paid that money without selling out 20,000 seats in arenas all over the country and without doing 200, 300,000 pay-per-views. And he's getting the same amount of money that Gervonta is getting. Gervonta wasn't even signed coming out of the amateurs. He wasn't even signed coming out of the amateurs. He had like 10 fights. And guess what? Devin already had more pub on him than Gervonta did. If you remember the sparring story where they said that they sparred, that is when that sparring match is what made Floyd sign Gervonta. Devin was already put on at that time. And Gervonta went from that all the way up to pay-per-views, selling out arenas, and he still doesn't make more money than Devin. And Devin is undisputed. Ain't nobody giving Tank a shot. Tank ain't got no undisputed shot.
But Fanon, do you blame Devin for Eddie Hearn bringing him that big front-loaded contract? Because that contract he signed with DAZN, that was a front-loaded contract. I believe it was $3.5 million per fight. It was front-loaded with guaranteed money.
I don't blame him for anything. Get your money, but don't say, look, I don't blame, let me put it this way. Do you know what's that guy's name? Romeo? Isn't Romeo the son of Master P?
Yeah. Lil Romeo.
Isn't he the one with the cereal? He got like the chips and shit in the gas stations.
He's the one that used to do the ICDC college and all the other junior. All those. Dude,
I don't hate that kid. I don't hate that kid for having his own chips in a grocery store when he's that young. But don't tell me this kid is hard put. Don't tell me that he's out here living like these kids in Inglewood, like he's living with like these kids in Inglewood and Chicago or something. He's not. That kid is not hard put upon. That dude has been able to, the dude is not, he's not, I don't mean, sure he had suffering in his life. Like everybody has suffering in his life, but that is a rich kid. Devin has not been mistreated by the boxing world at all. And so you put on Lomachenko that he ducked him. You put on Gary Russell Jr. that he ducked him. You put on Gervonta Davis that he ducked him. It's like everybody is ducking and hiding, and it's shit is fucking make believe. You got 28 fights. You're undisputed. You're 23 years old. You've been making for at least the last 7-8 fights over $3 million a year without having to sell any tickets. But you're the hard pressed one. You got Richards and Hitchens. I bet Richards and Hitchens didn't get that deal over there. Anyway, I don't want to go in on it, but it's like, come on, man, give me a break. Stop trying to make me feel. You try to like, oh, you just, dude. This kid is blessed. He's blessed. He's a very, very good fighter. He has the ability to beat a lot of these dudes, but that kid has been blessed. He has not been Ryan Garcia wouldn't fight him. That's the guy that ducked him because he had a shot at that interim belt, and Ryan Garcia said, F the interim belt. And Ryan Garcia went and fought somebody else and wouldn't fight him. That guy, he got ducked by Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia was actually in a position to fight for the interim title and he didn't fight it. But to say that a guy fights a unification fight, the WBC tells a guy, look, you're our champion. We're going to give you this, whatever, a designation or whatever. He didn't make the WBC do that. And you can say the WBC was trying to save him, but the WBC is not Lomachenko. And on top of it, bro, I just personally don't think Lomachenko needs no saving. Like, you can say what you want. That dude is not no easy touch, no soft ass dude, bro. That is looking at Devin and being like, oh my God, I'm so afraid. Don't let me anywhere near him. What about Devin Haney's fighting style would tell you that somebody is going to run out of the ring with him, especially since Kambosos fought him? Why wouldn't Lomachenko? Go ahead, y'all go cook. Let me get this one super chat though. Milo's B said, because Devin is a better fighter than Gervonta, Tank's style has a expiration date. What is that? Because of what? I don't understand what the because of. Because he's a better fighter?
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
What'd you say?
I said that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
So what y'all want to talk about, man? I'm not going to be on for a real long time, man, but we can chop it up a little bit more.
He said Tank style has an expiration date, but Devin style was easily, like, Tank can do everything Devin can do. Devin just taller. Like, he can do everything Devin can do. But Devin can't do what he do. And that's why they be mad.
And there's some things Tank can't do what Devin can do.
Like what?
You can't when it comes to the jab, I can keep you at range and I can keep you at distance because I'm longer, I'm taller. That can't happen for Tank. He's gonna have to fight on the inside like a lot of people. That's how Leo Santa Cruz was winning the round.
Outside with a jab as well.
How? When his arms are smaller. That's what we just saw. What happened with Leo Santa Cruz? Leo Santa Cruz was winning the fight till he wanted to go.
How did he fight Mario Barrios? How did he fight
Mario Barrios was winning on the card. All those people who are longer and taller than them, they were winning on the card.
He was fighting behind a jab, regardless if he was winning on the cards or not.
No, he was not. He was fighting off of the hooks, trying to work his way inside. He can't use jabs because his arm length is what, like 67, 66-inch arm?
So you saying
like, he don't have the length.
Mario Barrios?
He did jab, but what did he stop him with? He stopped him with power shots, uppercuts, and hooks. He can't just stand and box from the outside like Devin can. You're too small and you don't have the length. No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not. You've seen that fight.
On the outside, he fought Mario Barrios the whole fight.
He worked his way. He worked his way.
Which he wasn't on the inside with. He
worked his way on
with that overhand when he fought Mario Barrios.
He was on the inside. Yes, he was on the inside. He already stopped him with the body shot, with the liver shot.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
No, that was the first knockdown. That was the first knockdown with the body shot because he had to work his way inside. Tank can't fight from the out. The only way,
overhand right was the first.
Hey, let me give you my 2 cents on this.
Was the first knockdown.
Let me give you my 2 cents on this. Gervonta Davis can't fight from the outside. That's how he beat Jose Pedraza. He pistol whipped that boy from the outside, Jose Pedraza. And Jose Pedraza is significantly taller than him and long. The question is,
tall?
Okay. I mean, Mario Barrios is like 5'11", bro. He's not.
Leo's like 5'9".
Devin Haney is. Devin Haney is not. Devin Haney. I don't even know if Devin Haney is taller than Jose Pedraza is. But Lomachenko, they're about the same height. I think maybe Pedraza may be a little taller than him. He fought Pedraza on the outside, inside and outside. The thing is, the Tank is a 130-pounder and Devin is a welterweight. And the reason that I disagree that the styles don't work is this. Devin's got to go 12 rounds every fight. That shit doesn't hold up as well as somebody that is going to get your ass out of there in 2 and 3. Gervonta has the ability to end the fight. He's not going 12 rounds with these dudes. He goes, what, 6, 8? That's significantly less mileage than somebody that has to go 12 rounds with everybody you fight. Devin doesn't have the ability to end the fight. So if he gets in there with somebody that can get on the inside of him, and it's like a Gary Antoine Russell, if Gary Antoine Russell from the southpaw stance is able to get on the inside of him and make that a fight, you think he's just going to stand out there and just jab everybody forever? He's not going to go his whole career with jabbing somebody from the outside if you can't hurt the dude. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has to be able to hurt dudes. He all through 130, 135, 140, 147, even like with Virgil Ortiz, or not Virgil Ortiz, Victor Ortiz. When Victor Ortiz stuck his chin out there and got goofy, that dude got knocked out. Devin is hitting these guys flush with 3-piece combinations, bro, and they're like, they ain't even blinking. So for me, if you say like the style it will hold up over time, bro, if you're going to be going to 147 and you can't hurt nobody, and all of a sudden you're now fighting guys the same height, the same reach as you, what's Devin going to do if he got to fight somebody like Errol at 147? Because he can't make 140 anymore. What's he going to do against that dude? What's he going to do against Gervonta if he got to fight Gervonta at 147? If he can't, you think he's just going to outbox him? He got to be able to hurt him, bro. So for me, only thing Gervonta got is that he's fighting at 135. If he wanted to fight at 130, this nigga would win. He wouldn't lose for the next 8. He wouldn't lose for the next 10 years. Fighting guys his own size, bro. This dude is 5'5". I think he's 5'5". They say he's 5'5". I don't know if he's 5'5". He's 5'5".
Yeah, I think they say him and Gary Russell are the same exact height, so I believe that's 5'5", 5'5 and a half.
Thank you. So you got a guy he has no business at 140. Really? So you got Tank, who went up to fight a guy that's legitimate contender, not a contender. Yeah, a legitimate fighter at 147 in Mario Barrios. A guy that is really 126, 130 pounder. Devin is a 147-pound fighter, bro. According to like the old, and let me tell you why I mean that. If you get to the original 8 weight classes, there is no 130. Gervonta started at 126. It goes from 126 to 135. So he'd be at 126 to 135. Devin is 135, and you can't make weight at 135, you go to 147. So that means if he couldn't make his weight next fight, and he were fighting throughout the majority of history of boxing, you got to go fight Gervonta. You got to go fight Virgil Ortiz. So that's where I'm looking at this whole thing. It's like, yeah, man, okay, we'll see. Even with guys like Regis, that ain't no foregone conclusion that he's beating Regis Prograis at 140. But anyway, that's a
firefight right there. Like Regis, because Regis, he got that power. He got something that can snuff you. I'm always high on Regis Prograis.
My only fight is ever since Devin got caught by Linares, he only fought Kambosos, and he even said it. It was him saying he fought the way he fought against Kambosos because everybody gave him negative backlash from what happened with Linares. So my thing is, so now are you scared of your own chin? Because now how are you going to fight Kambosos again? So now
that's the same thing. Like Shakur did. Shakur when he fought Nakathilia hit him with that dead right, and Shakur had to get on his bike for a minute. Everybody gets caught.
We talking about Tank and Devin,
right? I mean, everybody gets caught.
We talking about Tank and Devin's fight, like if they were to fight. So Shakur is irrelevant right now. So I'm saying,
okay,
if you're worried about Kambosos' power, when you get in there with Tank, you will be 100% one-dimensional.
And we're talking about the same Linares. We're talking about the same Linares that dropped Lomachenko, right? The same Linares that dropped Lomachenko.
I'm talking about the same Linares that was over the hill and that had multiple losses already.
Wait, yes. The same one that just dropped Lomachenko like 2 fights before, right?
I'm talking about the same one that was over the hill and had multiple losses.
The same one that also was the
multiple losses.
I might have to go check that box right.
What are you talking about?
Go check it.
What do you need to check?
No, I was just saying that Linares, like, he's still a game fighter. I mean, I just said that Linares was the one that dropped Lomachenko. So, like, Devin fought a power puncher and he tried to fight his.
By Lomachenko. He's the one that got stopped by Lomachenko.
True.
Lomachenko knocked him out.
True.
Lomachenko,
but he did get dropped.
Yeah, he got dropped, and then he got up and he knocked him out. Jorge Linares got knocked out by Lomachenko.
And Devin haven't fought Lomachenko, so what's the point of bringing Lomachenko up? Why bring up other people? We talking about Devin and Tank.
No, you mentioned Linares. That's why.
Because he fought Linares.
And I said Linares has power. Like, anytime, and Devin knows what his strengths are. Like, after that fight, after that round, that's when he had to get his scruples together, and he realized I can't really fight in the line of. I can't fight in a phone booth like that.
So that means every fight you fight, and when you fight someone with power, you're gonna have to fight that same way. And you're not telling me Devin get hit in every single fight. People talk as if Devin don't get hit. Devin get touched every fight. Now you're gonna tell me that 12 rounds that you're gonna be able to do that and not get touched? And just based off of his body language, bro, I don't like when Devin get hit. I don't like his body language. I don't like the fact that when they bring up the energy change. Now they talking about how good of friends they are and shit that don't even matter. But before it's nobody wants to fight Devin. Now it's let's fight. Now it's they real good friends now. Like, come on, bro. Just keep the same energy. That's my problem with it. But I think Devin a hell of a fighter. I just don't think he can beat Tank.
I mean, we all have our own opinions. Like, to me, I think Devin, it'll be a majority decision win for him if he does fight Tank. He stays on the outside and just boxes. You know, we've seen that happen before a few times with other fighters. So I'm just using this hype link.
I didn't. I only seen that happen with Kambosos. Jojo Diaz was touching him up. Linares touched him up. Like, I never seen that. That it only happened with Kambosos, bro. We haven't seen it with other fights.
Well, everybody gets hit with Jojo
Diaz. He was exchanging with Jojo Diaz, but Jojo Diaz didn't hurt him. He got hurt by Linares, and Linares took his foot off the gas. Just like Sean Porter said, I don't know what happened or why he ain't finished going after him. Because he was done. He didn't recover in 2 rounds. People want to make it seem like it don't matter. It matters. He never recovered. And Linares had his hands up like, I don't know what happened, but I know he got hurt and he ain't pushed the gas pedal on him. He let him survive. He could have stopped him. And everybody want to talk as if it didn't happen or it don't matter. It matters. And it matters to him because you can see how he fought Kambosos, that it matters to him.
Yeah, man, we'll see. I don't think it's gonna happen. Said Derek Choi said, Miles said time will prove that fighters like Haney and Shakur will last longer. Tank is not a defensive master by any means. I don't understand that, bro.
None of them are defensive masters, bro.
Even against the opponents he's facing, dude, Tank's opponents ain't no different than these other dudes' opponents, man. Anyway, I don't get it, man. I don't get. First of all, I ain't got to tear down Devin Haney's skills when I talk about Gervonta. Gervonta is a legitimate top-notch fighter, man. It ain't no easy. It ain't all sweet over there. Like I just don't get it, man. I think Tank is
he's a potential Hall of Famer. I think really, honestly, potential, possibly future Hall of Famer. You know, I ain't got no smoke, no quarrels for him. You know, Tank is a great elite fighter, not a great. He's elite.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get to see the fights, but like I said, my whole thing was, look, man, I know Devin's a very, very good fighter. He's had an excellent career to date. I just wish y'all would stop. Just there's no need for that. No need to pull out the violin for that guy, man. He's not mistreated. Okay, I mean, he's not mistreated. That is not a mistreated fighter. He's not been victimized by boxing. None of that stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is just calm with that. But then, like the point that you brought up with Shakur. I want to listen to what Bill Haney had to say about Shakur, because I did read the title, and the title was that he says something about, Shakur step up, or these other guys need to step up. Fight Shakur.
Wait, Bill said that?
I just saw the title. I haven't listened to what he said, so I can't. Nah, Ra, you pull out the violin on him, man. Y'all been pulling out violins for that dude, man. It's over the top. No, it ain't the truth. You know what I'm saying? You guys calling mandatories. You telling a guy can't fight for a unification fight, he got to fight Devin. If you fight a unification, if the WBC offers you an elevated belt, you can't take it. And if you get a unification, if you have the ability to unify a title, you can't take that either, because you got to fight Devin. That's just silly to me. It's just silly. Devin does not have to fight. If Devin, it's like saying George Kambosos is the undisputed champion, is got 3 belts. He's got a mandatory. Isaac Cruz is his mandatory, and because I'm an Isaac Cruz fan, Devin can't fight Shakur, can't fight Kambosos. He's got to fight his mandatory in Isaac Cruz, because I'm an Isaac Cruz fan, and he's ducking Isaac Cruz. Nobody would. The arguments that you guys make for Devin, you would never, ever, ever make for anybody else. You would never, ever, ever make that argument. Michael Lords, it's not an elevation. You can say whatever you want. It's not an elevation, whatever. So what? The guy's not as mandatory, and he still fought a unification fight. Even if you want to say it's not an elevation, whatever. I can literally give you that point. And your argument still falls flat. Because guess what?
That's crazy.
It's a unification versus a unification.
It's not a unification. In a unification, you get to pick.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning. That's what I meant.
It's not a duck. It's a unification versus unification, it's not a duck.
I didn't make that point. You go at Michael Lords.
It's not a unification, though. It's not a unification. Because he's a WBC franchise. Because he has a WB franchise title. Okay? Any way you cut it, that man won that WBC belt, and his very last fight, he lost to Teofimo Lopez. You want to somehow mind masturbate your way into that? Oh, it's a unification fight now. How the hell did you get to that? Did you literally just pulled that? That literally y'all just pulled out the draft. That means, it was a W because Dev was the WBC champion. He should have fought him as a unification. I thought you said he was his mandatory. You got to fucking pick one. Okay? He can't be his mandatory and a unification fight at the same time, bro. Here's what happened. Lomachenko fought an in-house fight with Top Rank, and he lost. Then Teofimo Lopez fought a mandatory and lost. The next available fight was Kambosos, and Kambosos fought Devin Haney for all the belts. That means Devin Haney had to wait 2 fights. He had to wait for Lomachenko. He had to fight. 2 fights. He had to wait for Lomachenko to fight Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Lopez to fight George Kambosos. And in the very next fight, he got a shot at Undisputed. You tell me somebody else that got that shit that quick, that went from being a interim titleist to fighting for Undisputed in less than 3 fights. Look, I'm not missing a year. It's called the pandemic, partner. How long was it taken for Errol Spence Jr. to become a 3-belt holder? How many years did it take him? He had to fight Kell Brook. Then he had to wait. Then he had to wait well over a year to get Sean Porter. Then he had to wait. Then he had to wait through a car accident. Then he had to wait through a fight with Danny Garcia. Then he had to wait. Then he had to wait through a torn retina to then get a fight for the WBA Super belt. And now he's been going to wait another year, maybe, to get a fight with Terrence Crawford. How long did it take Jermell Charlo to get a fight for Undisputed? Years. It took this guy 2 fights. 2 fights from the interim to Undisputed in 2 fights. And you're acting like, oh my God, he was so put upon. You wanted to get him in 1 fight? Like, how much more quickly could he have got it? It's not even possible for it to get it any faster than he got it. Because guess what? If Lomachenko had fought him, maybe Teofimo wouldn't have. So he would have been sitting there with the WBC belt, but not the IBF. Right? Or if he had fought Luke Campbell and gotten the WBC, then he would have had to fight Teofimo Lopez, or he would have had to wait either way. Even if Lomachenko had not gotten that WBC belt, if Devin had fought Luke Campbell for it, he still would have had to waited for Undisputed. As it turned out, he got everything in 1 ball. And a multi-fight contract to boot for never selling any tickets. No tickets, no pay-per-views. Man, y'all, come on, man. Sometimes you shouldn't look, and I mean this very, very seriously, man, as somebody that ain't never been broke. Like, in my entire life, brother, I've never been broke. Like to the point where I didn't have any options to get something. When I know that there are other people that really are in that situation. Bro, don't claim that situation, brother, if that ain't really the situation. Because you may fuck around and you be in that situation. That man had his own promotional company at 16 years old, which means you had to have funding to have your own promotional company. The dude was trained by Floyd Mayweather Jr., Roger Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather Sr. Bro, this dude literally had the best upbringing, dang near best upbringing you could possibly have as a boxer. Living in a mansion your entire time you grow up, having those type of world-class trainers and sparring and all that stuff at your disposal. Then you get signed by Showtime right out the bat. Go from Showbox straight to a big-time contract with DAZN. And great job with all of that. Then you go over to ESPN. The first fight at ESPN that you get is for Undisputed. And you guys that's the gap for me. I have a hard time feeling sorry for him. I just have a very hard time feeling sorry for him. And y'all keep selling this idea that everybody else has gotten it so much more easy than him. Like somehow Gervonta's path is just padded and easy. It's not true. He didn't get handed a belt at 130. He had to fight fucking Pedraza. He had to fight the best guy at 130 pounds. He was the underdog against Pedraza. Nobody knew him. He wasn't given these paydays. He had to sell out arenas by knocking people cold. Not 12-round fights, no disrespect, because I know Devin's a great fighter and all that, but not 12-round fights that nobody watched. He literally has to show and prove to get a paycheck through pay-per-views and ticket sales. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. Don't get it. You got Gary Russell Jr., who literally he only got mandatories.
That's because Warrington and Leo Santa Cruz and everybody, they didn't want to unify with him.
He never in the entire, and this is the guy, Gervonta Davis fans ridiculing this guy. When Devin, who's a 135, is calling out a fucking featherweight. They're talking shit to a featherweight. About, hey man, you don't never fight. You don't never get no fight. Yeah, he don't get no fight because he's really ducked. Leo Santa Cruz really didn't fight him.
True. And they're on the same side of the street.
Abner Mars wouldn't fight him.
True.
Josh Warrington really wouldn't fight him. Those guys would not fight him. But you literally jump on the top of this dude's name, a 135-pounder, run his name through the mud, calling him a duck for not going to 135 and fighting a guy 5'9". It's dude. If you want to know it's not Devin, it's y'all. There's no way you guys do not see this. Why don't you talk about Isaac Cruz? What do I care about Isaac Cruz for? I could care less about Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz got his ass whooped by Gervonta. And he get his ass whooped again by Gervonta. What's there to talk about him for? So that's my thing. Because he's ducked, right? He's like Rigondeaux. You guys are literally calling this dude a modern day Sam. What do you call him? A modern day Sam Langford?
Oh no, the modern day Jack Johnson.
You're not modern day Jack. He's modern day somebody that was being treated so bad in boxing. You guys put this shit out like he was mistreated so badly. And I'm telling you, from somebody that if you really knew my family, knew my situation, to hear me say that I hadn't been blessed, dude, y'all, some cats that were struggling to slap me in my mouth. Slap me in my mouth. When my dad, and I'm just being real with you, when I didn't get good grades in high school, I could go to college because my dad could afford to pay for the whole thing. Right? That's how I is able to get into college. I got a good test score, but I was a fuck-off student in high school, but my dad could afford to pay for college for me. That's a blessing. I'm not put upon. I've had hard moments in life, but I'm not put upon. So for me to see a kid in a situation that looks very similar to mine and acting like you in the same situation as Gervonta, you're not. Gervonta Davis, you talking about how great a fighter is. Shit, how could he not be? If your first trainer is Floyd Mayweather Sr., shit. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? That's like these rich tennis player kids. They go out there, oh man, look at their form. It's never been, yeah, hell yeah. Or Klay Thomas, yeah, Klay Thompson can shoot. I'm sure he fucking can.
Daddy's Michael Thompson.
I'm sure Bron can play. Why the fuck? Something wrong with him if he can't? Fuck wrong with him if he can't? The dude literally got an NBA Hall of Famer, NBA Hall of Famer for a father genetically. You got trainers. You got the world's best trainers in there teaching you your shooting form and your dribbling form in your basketball gym that's in your fucking house. Dude, if he makes it to the NBA, dude, trust me, it's a hell of a lot less of a hurdle than some of these other kids have to overcome to get there. And it's a fucking shame that they even get college scholarships. If LeBron James' kid don't go straight to college, goes to play in college, and ain't going to be able to play in the NBA, it'd be a fucking shame if he did. Because you stealing a scholarship spot from somebody else that actually needs it so you can fucking ego boost.
They have to, though.
They have to because they got to do that 1 year in college now until they change the rules.
Cut it though. You know, I mean, I don't want to get in that college. We kind of got off the topic like that. But bro, give me a break. I am never going to feel sorry for Devin Haney, bro. He can retire now. Any kid that says I'm the youngest promotional company ever, and you're 16. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, he's bankrolled. You're bankrolled. How can you afford to have a promotional company at 16 years old? That costs money. 16 years old, you're not even out of high school yet. What are you, a trust fund, baby? How did that happen? Right? No, man.
Bill got that money. You know what I mean? Bill put in the work, so you got to spread the blessings to your seed. You know how it is.
Yeah, well, when you exactly just like my son, whatever I can do for my son, I'm going to do for my son. But dude, if my son ain't going to be walking around crying about how his daddy left when he never met his daddy, and his mama had this problem and that problem, or he was going through a neighborhood with pop, 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 pop. Because that's not true.
Suburban gangster.
What'd he say?
I said one of my homeboys called his son a suburban gangster.
Just come on, man. Said ball. We don't know what. I'm telling.
We don't know what kind of rough parts of San Francisco, Oakland he grew up in. We don't know. It might have been rough out there.
Excuse me.
Cut it out.
Grew up in a mansion in Las Vegas.
Before then, he was in California. Before then, he was born at.
Dude, he's literally carrying, at about the age of 10 years old, he's literally carrying the Ring magazine belt over his head as Zab Judah goes into the ring. Zab Judah is his godfather.
Joel Judah.
Zab Judah is Joel. How does that happen? He's not from New York City, is he? He ain't from New York, is he? Last time I checked, Zab Judah's from New York. How did Zab Judah become your godfather? And Jeff Mayweather, Roger Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather, and Jeff Mayweather all train you. Of course, you're going to be a very, very good boxer, bro. But guess what they cannot do? They can't give you, and I hate to say it, can't give you talent. Can't give you talent. And there are certain levels of talent that you run into, bro. That's going to be a lot of problems, bro. And Gervonta, say what you want about Gervonta, that dude has something that you cannot give to somebody. You can't give a kid a 45-inch vertical if he doesn't have a 38-inch vertical in him. Gervonta has extreme athleticism, and he's not some flat-footed fighter, bro. Not at all. He didn't fight flat-footed against Jose Pedraza at all, but he had to earn everything that he has. Devin had to earn everything he had too. He's getting punched in the face. He's doing the miles. He's running. He's doing all those things, and he deserves credit for everything that he achieved. But you guys tear down fighters. You tear down other fighters to make him look good. And I will forever say that thing about the whole treatment of Gary Russell Jr. was crazy to me. Because who else, what other guy at 135 pounds with a straight face can call out a featherweight? Name one. Name a guy right now at 135 pounds that can get away with calling out Stevie Fulton Jr. Who?
I can't name one.
You would respect and take seriously if Teofimo Lopez called out Stevie Fulton Jr.?
No, they say fight somebody. They say fight somebody in your weight class.
But you guys take very seriously Devin calling out Gary Russell Jr.
I think that was because of the Terrence Crawford thing, talking about he would go up to 147 and all that other,
Terrence Crawford never took him serious. Terrence Crawford never took that serious. But also that's a flip because Terrence Crawford wasn't calling him out. You got no business fighting somebody that's a 126 pounder. If you're 135 pounds and you're having a hard time making weight and calling them a duck if they don't move up 2 weight classes to fight you, name one other scenario like that in the history of boxing. Name one. Name a scenario where a guy at 147 pounds ever called out a guy at 135 pounds and y'all called him a duck for not moving up. You can't name it. Just like you can't name one other scenario in boxing where a guy fights for a unification title and you think he was ducking a mandatory for doing it, much less a guy that wasn't a mandatory. You guys are bringing up scenarios for Devin that do not exist anywhere else in the history of boxing.
They say Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz actually bigger than Tank.
Way bigger than Tank.
Yeah,
I was ringside.
way
for that
bigger.
fight. Way bigger than Tank. And guess what Tank did? Tank moved down in weight.
Yep.
And
Had to come down from 130. Had to come down from
135. He fought him at 130. Tank was the 135-pound champion. And Leo said, no, I don't want to fight you at 135. And Gervonta said, Big Ned, get out of here. Gary Russell did not call that man out. That was Devin. Stop it. He moved down in weight to fight him. So give me another example. And you guys will definitely change history with that. Now Gary called him out now. now miraculously Gary called him out. Hey, go ahead, man. Keep changing history for people, bro. I'm telling you, it's just going to make you look bad. Because it works with your fan base. It doesn't work with other people's fan base. Trust me. It doesn't. There are way more people that think this shit is stupid than believe what you guys are saying. You're overselling it. A whole lot of Devin Haney fans be like, yeah, you guys are really over. Yeah, we really over. You guys are really overselling it. And you're making it really, really hard to be. You're making it hard to be a fan of the guy. Just like Vasily Lomachenko for me. I liked Vasily Lomachenko until ESPN started selling him like that. Then it's like, dude, come on, man. He's not the greatest fighter. He's not the greatest fighter ever. Dude, he's not showing me something I've never, ever seen before. Changing angles. You've never seen anybody change an angle before? And that turned people off, man. You keep doing this shit, you're going to turn people off at Devin, and he's never going to be a big star. Because you're going to turn too many people off. Mike Kirkland in the building said, I agree with the fact that Haney had it good, but he could have been another Chavez Jr. Haney put in the work, no doubt. Absolutely. A lot of credit to him. So he takes a lot of punches, man. Yeah, definitely. But what were you saying? My bad, man. Go ahead, man.
Oh, no. I was just agreeing. I was saying, it's pretty much the same. Like, Devin understands that he's not a big draw, and his team understands that. So they have to go about it differently. My problem is all the people that talk as if it's not true, meaning like any fight that he has coming up, he has to call out somebody that's bigger than him to draw attention to him. He did it with Gary Russell, and then he did the same exact thing Ryan Garcia been doing with Tank. And that's just pretty much what it is. I'm not a big draw. I'm going to try to use his name to get fans. That's all it is. I mean, at the end of the day, they know it. They know they're not going to be able to fight Tank. So that's what they do. But when other people come up and it's an easier fight to be made, now you're talking about how many fights people got and y'all friends. And no, man, just stay one way.
Pretty
You
much.
the boogeyman. You the boogeyman. So,
hey, Savant, watch this real quick. Devin absolutely called out Gary after that. Oh, hey, there you go, bro. You got that right. Savant, maybe I misread what you said, bro. I thought somebody said, Savant, you are right. Devin did call him out. Did call him out. Somebody else saying that I thought somebody else said, oh yeah, Big Ned said Gary called him out. No, Gary did not call him out, bro. Devin Haney called out a featherweight, bro. And I was
Owen made boxing conversations. Owen made boxing conversations. You can hit the link and you can talk to me. You don't got to talk to the chat. If you're saying I don't know anything about boxing, you can jump on the live and we can converse. You don't have to stay in the chat. You don't have to be a chat warrior. You can come up here.
absolutely.
No, you can. We're gonna be on here for maybe like 15 more minutes though. But because it is, but we can keep going through. We can talk about this all the time, man. My thing is, look, man, I like Devin Haney as a fighter. The line is that those guys sell though. I'm not buying it, man. I don't have to buy all that other stuff. Just like with Terrence Crawford and Errol. Dude, I don't have to believe that Terrence Crawford is a scared, shaking his boots of Errol Spence Jr. There's no reason for me to believe that about him. That he's just or that Errol Spence Jr. is shaking in his boots from Terrence. All of that talk that people have, which is used to sell fights and all of that, that's fine and dandy, man. Like, people are going to do it. They do it all the time. I'm cool with you doing it. But don't jump on me because I'm saying, look, man, I don't believe that. I mean, I don't believe it. I don't believe Lomachenko is afraid to fight Devin Haney. I don't believe it. I don't think he would. But I think if Devin Haney, if there was a gym and Lomachenko could walk right in there and fight that dude bare knuckle off some money, I think he would jump in there, provided the money was right, with nothing on, and fight Devin Haney. Lomachenko don't seem like no coward to me. Doesn't seem like it. Teofimo Lopez, as much as I don't like Teofimo Lopez, he doesn't seem like a coward to me. He seemed like he lost his focus and he wants to, he was off on, I've got my endorsements and all of that. But he don't seem like anybody that's particularly scary to get in there and fight somebody, So and plus there's nothing scary about Devin. And I mean that. There's nothing scary about him. Like Deontay Wilder, that's some scary shit. Like, that's scary shit. Like, if you're not giving me the right amount of money, bro, I'm not good. I'm not thinking about getting in there and fighting him. Because why? Because these guys are getting literally got punched into a spasm. You know what I'm saying? These dudes he's hitting cats and giving them epilepsy and shit. That's scary. Devin is out jabbing you for 12 rounds and you pick up a paycheck. You got almost no risk of serious injury to Gervonta Davis in that fight. None. Gervonta Davis can come in on Devin Haney all day and worry about zilch. He ain't hurting him. That's not the case with Gervonta. That's not the case fighting Gervonta. If you get in there with Gervonta, bro, dude, you getting hit, you getting hurt. That's legit. That's legit. I just don't believe that they're afraid of Devin. And you guys are trying to make him look like he's the boogeyman because you're trying to do the same thing. You're doing the same thing that people were doing with Errol. Like, that Errol was the boogeyman. Everybody was afraid of Errol. And I think there was some real truth to that one, that people really were ducking him. There were guys on the same side of the street, same promotional company. He's in the rankings with you. He's got a belt, and they're flat out saying they're not going to fight him. Yeah, maybe later down the road.
I think that's why he acted the way he do with Keith Thurman. Because Keith Thurman had every opportunity to fight Errol, and Keith Thurman turned it down, put his nose up to it, and act like he was hot shit. Because he was. Keith Thurman was the man. And now the tables flip, and you want Errol to be professional.
Well, remember, Keith Thurman, he was trying to get that Floyd Mayweather payday. Floyd gave him the same kind of excuse. If you beat this dude, then I'll fight you. And that's what Keith Thurman turned down the Errol Spence fight, because Floyd always likes to fight people off of their best win, and Keith Thurman wasn't willing to go that route. That's why he dropped the WBC belt, and then he only kept the WBA, but then he lost that one to Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, once all that happened, how can you be mad at Errol for how he treating you now? And it ain't like he lied about it. Errol said flat out, "You was shady to me. I'm not never fighting you."
No, I respect Errol for that, because, like I said, if you did that to me, I'm not going to give you the same shot, because look how you did me in the past. Now I got the one up, so no, I'm not going to respect that for what you did in the past. You know what I mean? I respect that.
Me personally, I would like to see it, but I can't be mad at him.
Yeah, you can't be mad at it because he got a very good reason. I just don't care about his reason and want to see fight. But it's like he don't care about me. I
want to see it too. Don't get me wrong.
I just want to see the fight, man. I want to see
it. It would be a good fight.
Yeah.
I can't.
Now, what up, Steph? What up, Steph?
What's up, Terry? What's up, Trash Game? And who's that? Motorsports over there?
What's going on, Steph?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with everybody on that Errol comment. I do wish he'll fight the guy, but I think since Errol was on the come up, and trying to start a paper trail, and Keith wouldn't grant that. So now the shoe's on the other foot, and he's just like, nah, dog, you ain't getting none of this big fish money no more. Not like that. Not like that.
I don't think that's fair, because he's doing it now to Jerron Ennis. You fighting champions, and who you want to fight now, son? Jerron Ennis is number one. Stanley Olsen is number one, but you want to fight Bud. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, but Jerron Ennis, but Motorsports, right. But Jerron Ennis, I keep saying this about Jerron, man. It's not his time yet. It's not his time. Prime example, like he's next. Like he's the next king to ring over 147. As soon as this mega fight gets done, when and if those guys decide to go elsewhere, he's next, man. He gonna be collecting them, and he more than likely will be undisputed. Personally, I think Errol would beat him, man. I think he would beat him and slow down his growth.
This is Boots' time, man.
I agree. I think Errol and Bud would beat Jerron at this point, right now.
I think Jerron be done hurt one of them boys, man. Listen, they stay away from the young Thundercats for a reason. Floyd ain't fight Errol and Terrence for a reason. They stay away from them young Thundercats, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No, Trash Game, you're right.
Fight that ain't no, man, listen. Jerron in his time is now. Errol and Bud on the way out.
I mean, Jerron still got time. What is Jerron, like 25, 26? He still got some youth, but I mean, like, I do feel what you mean. Like,
Jerron,
I feel like
now, man. This big fight is holding it up. His time is now.
Bro, Errol.
Just wait till they drop the belt.
I feel like Errol has to happen.
Say that
wait till they drop the belt.
Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I didn't know. What did you say, Trash?
No, I said
I'm out. Go ahead.
I said Errol and Spence. That fight has to happen because of everything that happened around it. And I don't think Errol never disrespected Boots, or he know the threat that Boots is. He talk about him. He just saying he got unfinished business. Boots can't jump in front of Crawford in the Errol and Spence thing. So that's not a problem for me. I just feel like once that fight happened, I think both of those dudes are going to move up. Either if Spence win or if Crawford win, I think both are going to move up. And the welterweight division is Boots.
Now, trash talk. My only thing is just because, like, I believe Ennis has been the IBF mandatory now for, I'll say a few months. I won't say for a year yet, but it might be coming up soon for a year. So it's like, he's waiting in the wings.
The number one at the IBF was like vacant for like a year, almost a year before. They had Jerron Ennis at number 3 and the number 1 and 2 spot like empty. So he was basically number 1 figuratively, like you want to say.
Yeah, but hold on, gentlemen. Hang on. Freaking, like I said, this is what I keep saying with the timing thing. Errol's not fighting him, man. Why? Because he won't be there. He's going to be moving up. So if we do get that fight, it's going to be at a higher weight. Errol ain't going to be waiting around just to fight Jerron Ennis or Jerron Boots Ennis. He's not doing that. And you're right, Trash Game. He recognizes the threat. I think like, he knows to himself, like, yeah, man, this guy could possibly beat me and or at this weight, but it won't happen now. It won't happen in 047. Ronnie, you about 2 years too late, G. You about 2 years too late. So go on ahead and just wait patiently and wait for your reign, man. Because he's also got some characters coming up in his era. Think Virgil, think Cheatin' Connor, think Rashidi, and some other guys who are like Devin and them who'll probably come up.
None of them going
about 2 years too late. No, they don't call his
name.
Errol's got to do it. Wait, hang on, Terry. So Errol's got to do it.
Nah. I'm just saying we gotta wait for some new blood. But the people that you name, none of them are going to fight. I think Keith. I don't think.
So again, Errol's got to do it.
Huh?
So again, Errol's got to do it.
No. I think right now the best fight for him right now is Keith Thurman. Right now, I feel
Errol
like
Spence?
Keith Thurman should fight Boots. I feel like that's his only
Oh, gotcha. I'm tripping.
I feel like if Keith's serious about getting back on top, like he said, and he said he want to be world champion again, you're not getting a shot from Errol or Crawford. I don't think that's going to happen. So, in order for you to get back in that, he got to knock off a young lion. But
I do feel that. Take his ranking, take his spot and his ranking.
He gonna have
force
to.
it. You gotta force it.
You see how subtle you came in with that though, Trash Talk? Like when people do that, I'm just like, Listen, man. Keith's got more than a chance of winning that fight. What am I trying
Against
to
who,
say? Like,
Boots?
I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep on Keith. Yes.
I ain't saying he don't,
I could see him getting his head knocked off.
but he
Yes,
got a chance of
but
being hurt too.
yes,
Yeah,
but man,
if he admitted that what is it, Barrios hurt him to the body, imagine what Boots will do. He
Man,
admitted, he said that he could have went from Barrios in that body shot. I'm like, so imagine Boots putting that pressure, and oh no, that might not look good.
for
He
me,
might actually get stopped.
I will never say an older fighter is wrong or something for not fighting one of these young Thundercats. Because age matters. People act like it don't, but it do.
yes,
And
it
you
does. Yes, sir.
35, 36, and you think you about to run down on a 25-year-old who taller, bigger, and stronger, man, you better stay away from that boy. I ain't mad at you.
I like what Double Zero say. He said Thurman has experience, though. I was just about to say that, man. Like his ring IQ is just. Well, I'll say this: it would really have to come into play if he, got into some type of survival mode or something like that.
Man,
But
that fight against Thurman and Mario Barrios was a tough fight for Thurman. It wasn't easy.
yeah, but he was coming off a 2-year layoff, dang near 4-year layoff because he only fought twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to make any excuses about his injuries, but basically, I mean, his body's failing him at this point, and then getting in there with a freaking cat tractor who can mow you down. Yeah,
So
But we gotta question his injuries because everybody was talking about Errol and people were talking about we need to see a medical report and everything. Now Keith was out for 2 years because of bone spurs and a car accident. Do we have any paperwork or any doctor's notes on that? Because
man,
Errol
that's
did that.
irrelevant, man. I don't care what people go through. He was out of boxing for 2 years. Regardless of what happened, he was out of boxing. And if he fight Boots, he gonna be out of boxing for another what? Year and a half, 2 years again.
And lose the WBC ranking too.
Are they even? Let me ask you all this, panelists. Are they even? Oh, what's up, E Money? Are they? Is that even talked about? Keith Thurman versus Jerron?
Yeah, it's tough, it's sprinkled, but they ain't going.
Or the suits talking about it? Let me
I
rephrase
don't
it that
know.
way.
I'm not behind it. I'm not behind. I don't know if they talking about it as far as like a negotiation, but it's been thrown out there.
Gotcha.
Thurman went from saying he ain't know who Boots was to saying, I mean, I know him. I done watched him since everybody brung him up. You know what I mean? But I watch energy, man. I swear these dudes don't want no smoke. Y'all talk all this crap, man. They don't want smoke. Keith Thurman don't want that fight, and I don't blame him.
True.
You don't want
But I
that,
think
man. They don't want that, man. If they do pull it out, bro, even if they were able to pull it out, they still don't want that.
he
'Cause you
needed
just
though.
got, huh?
He needed.
Yeah, he needed, but nah, man. Like that, I mean, I've been watched a lot of boxing, man. I'm telling you, man, that right there, like especially for like Crawford, nah, man. That's a bad matchup. Like that's a real bad matchup, man. Because that kid is not only can he box, he's very active.
Yeah.
Like he's real active. So it's not like you're gonna be sitting there like he doesn't throw as many punches as Errol, but he ain't very far behind. I mean, he throws a lot of punches.
Nah,
And he
Earl
throws
different, man.
What'd he say?
I said Earl different. His work rate is what scares me against anybody who wanna pick their shots. Like Ennis got a good work rate, but he still likes to pick his shots. Earl he just go. He just
That's
go
a
I
lot.
100
think
miles an hour.
also too, trash talk. Errol's a lot smarter, man. Errol's a lot. We all sit here and talk about Errol, but really, it's what he's trying to accomplish, and he is a master at distance already. And then you mix in with that volume, falling behind, or in front of that jab, you just get broken down, man. And I always say this about him. My favorite stat about Errol is that he does combinations no one else does. He throws 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations, man, to the body. No one does that.
Earl
Not even Boots. Not even Boots.
break
No
you
one
down
does
for
that,
sure.
man. That'll hurt. Yeah, that'll get you broke down. So And he's been doing that his whole career, his whole life. So, yeah, man, Errol's a beast. Errol is a beast, and I heard Fanon say this earlier in the week. He is obsessed with Terrence Bud Crawford right now. Oh man, they pushed Crawford they got him in the corner, man. They got him in the corner.
What do you got to say about that, E-Moneybag? What you got to say about that, E-Moneybag?
What about which part?
About the Errol being obsessed with Terrence.
About Errol being obsessed with it? He should be. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you don't negotiate this long with somebody and not be obsessed with them. But honestly, I think Bud. I don't know about. I'm not gonna get to who wants to fight more because that'll just drag out. But I think the accomplishment of being undisputed at 147. I think that's something that Bud wants a little more. I mean, because I think Bud is smart enough to know that everybody will get. I'm a Bud fan. I like Errol too. Everybody knows I'm a Bud fan too. More of a Bud fan. But I think everybody's smart enough to know that if Bud finds a way to be undisputed at 140 and then be undisputed at 147, they're gonna gas that up way more than it's worth. I mean, don't get it twisted. That's gonna be a heck of an accomplishment, but like that's gonna be like that accomplishment is gonna be gassed to like the moon because we're not gonna act like other fighters haven't been undisputed in multiple weight divisions. It's just not in the 4-belt era. You know what I mean? And it might have even been harder back then than it is now. But I think Bud knows doing that back to back 140 and 147 is gonna put him in some rarefied air. But my question was this though: what
but
about
it ain't gonna happen. Let me put that, since you out here throwing that magic out there. Let me curse that one. It ain't gonna happen. That man ain't getting undisputed at 147 and 154. That ain't happening. You froze, E-Moneybag?
Yeah, he did look like he did, huh?
Yeah, he's froze. Yeah. Hey, Mike,
there you
can
go.
we agree that Thurman doesn't want Boots or Haney wanting Stevenson, but we can't agree Crawford doesn't really want it? I don't know. I think Crawford probably does want it. He just wants to make everything's perfect. Haney does not want Stevenson. I do believe that because that's obvious that they don't want it. And more than that, the fan base doesn't want it. The fighter is one thing, but you guys, the fan base makes me believe y'all don't really believe in that dude, man. Y'all don't really believe in him.
Wait, what's this? What's this one on?
That man, dude, Haney fans do not want that Stevenson fight.
Interesting.
They do not want that fight, bro. Like,
I think Devin beat Shakur.
Hell no.
Yeah, man. No. Nah, man.
I seen Shakur and Tank.
Convince me. Okay, let's scoot to that real fast, real quick before we all get out of here. I need y'all to scoop me there because I was watching. First off, Shakur's getting better by the minute, better by the day, better by the week, better by the month and year. But what I saw from him his last 3 fights, there's some holes, man, in that game, man. There's some holes in that game, and let me just say this about Devin. Because I've said this early in the year after that Kambosos fight, so why I wasn't impressed with him. I still think that his punch combinations just they're just not there enough, and I know he's going to have his whole career to grow. But what Devin does know and what he does have an edge over some of his contemporaries who are compared to him is the young man knows the game, man. Like, he knows his way around that boxing ring. He's a very, very tough out. Very, very tough. Sparring is one thing, but he knows what to do inside the ring, man. It's kind of Floyd-esque a little bit. So that's why I think he'll beat Shakur. That's a great fight, great matchup. 2 boxing IQs coming together. But I think old boy's footwork, talking about Devin, will get him out of trouble. And he just know how the system. It's almost like he's an Olympian, even though he wasn't. He just know how to work the system, man. That's why I think he'll win that fight. But I would love to hear what y'all think on why Shakur beats him. Oh, and then one more thing too. Shakur is more talented than him. He's more refined, but Devin's also very raw and very good to himself.
Anybody want to respond to that?
I mean, I feel like you contradicted yourself a little bit. You caught him defined and raw at the same time. I mean, I don't see a fighter that throws one shot beating Shakur.
No, E-Money. I said that Shakur is more refined. He's a little more sharper with his punches and nicer and talented. But also too, Devin is also really talented too, man. I called him raw because he's always kind of been by himself and going gym to gym. His dad has been taken around the world to get better. But
Shakur's got less fights, and the Shakur from 126 to now has improved so much. And in Devin's 28, 27 fights, he hasn't improved at all. He's doing the same exact thing. They don't try nothing new. It seems like he doesn't want to get. It seems like he doesn't like to get hit. I've seen Shakur get hit, and he kind of smiles, and he always seems to want to respond to the shot he just took, kind of like Bud, and it just seems like it kind of seems like anytime that Devin is like in a moment, even in the Kambosos fight, I think it was the second round maybe where he Kambosos hit him with a little shot. It's kind of like everybody kind of goes like that when Devin's about to get hit or it's about to look like it's about to be a big engagement. Like, I mean, I know that Linares like hurting him a little bit. It's not. I think people make a bigger deal than what it is, but it just seems like he wants to pump that jab out there, keep everybody away. And to be honest, I think everybody sees that beautiful jab and thinks his footwork is better than what it is. I don't think his footwork is that great. I think he has that long reach that covers a lot of holes. And also with Shakur being southpaw, that jab isn't going to be as great as a weapon as it is against a lot of other people. I mean, I feel like Shakur would walk him down and know how to keep himself out of trouble. And I think he could stop Devin, to be honest with you.
So
trash talk.
I mean, one thing is like, so you said the Linares thing wasn't that big of a deal. I think it was a big deal because of how he responds to it. Not based on anybody else, it's just how he responds to it. And his response was to stay away so that wouldn't happen again. And that just tells me that he's not as confident as everybody else is about his own chin. But that being said, to go back from what the other guy said, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I can't see his name right there.
It's Steph.
Okay, Steph. What Steph said was that he thinks Shakur punches are sharper. I don't even think that's true, honestly. Like, I seen Devin fought Linares and when he fought Jojo Diaz. Very sharp punches, catching them. It's just it didn't have enough pop for them to stop swinging. And when he got caught, I think it
Stoner
was confident for a bit.
Oh, you want to go read that super chat real quick?
Hey, Devin would lose because he dyed his hair.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, he put that peroxide in his hair like Fanon always says.
That's true.
Hey, again, and thank you everybody that supports in the super chat and the cash app. I know it's hard to do all the time, man, but just definitely want to say I appreciate you, John Boy and Deborah Booker and Mike and all y'all. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. It does keep the channel going, man. So thank y'all very, very much. Thank you, Stoner Bars. Go ahead, y'all.
I saw Miss Booker earlier. How you doing, Miss Deborah? It's good to see you in the chat, ma'am. That made my day, ma'am. So it's good to see you. And of course, John Boy, Kirkland.
Oh yeah, shout out to Big Blunts in Boxing. I saw that you had a family member pass earlier this morning. We're thoughts and prayers are with you. Hopefully your family's still gonna be okay. Just you already know he's in good hands up there with the good man upstairs. So want to say that for Big Blunts in Boxing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but we talking Shakur, Devin. Trash talk.
Yeah, we still on that. We still on the Devin Shakur talk.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Just giving everybody. But like I say, I feel like that'd be a real good fight. I don't think neither one of them get knocked out. It's going 12 rounds. I seen somebody in the chat say somebody would knock the other. Nobody's getting knocked out. That thing going 12. And
right.
I think it'd be a good fight. I mean,
I thought you're looking at the telly. I thought you were froze for a moment, but like I said, it's really that footwork, man. Because I think they're both pretty equal as far as like their talents. And this one might be higher than the other, or even vice versa. Just, man, I see Shakur. He got his hands up all the time in a puncher's stance, so he can. And of course, his upper body moving with his defense is very well. But when you watch him, we're just saying he's walking someone down. He's coming in there, and then he just plants his feet and just sticks it and just stops, and then releases, and then he's just kind of like Canelo, just going back and forth with his upper body. Devin's footwork's going to be able to come in and out of that, in and out of that, in and out. He's going to be in and out, in and out, in and out. And if he feels any danger, he's going to put one hand up after he sticks his reach out, and then smother. Who's that? Shakur. He'll smother and as soon as he gets close, stick his hand out, and then if that's too much, he's just going to smother. But what I'm saying is his footwork will allow him to be in and out of that. And then I think Shakur will be just kind of chasing him after that point, kind of based off what I saw in his last matchup. But what I'm saying is, again, I think his footwork is going to be in and out of there, man. Take the Linares situation. Everyone says, it's funny, everyone talks about that, about him getting hit, but no one talks about the other 11, dare I say 12 rounds that this dude was just boxing the dude's head off.
It was 10 rounds.
It literally took him like a round and a half to recover. Yeah, because Linares is known for fast hands and having rocks in there enough to crack you. So it took him around, and I'm not the biggest Devin Haney guy, but he boxed that guy's head off, man. Same thing with JoJo. JoJo's a come forward pressure fighter. Do block circles around him.
One of the things.
Hold on, real quick, E-Moneybags. We do have one more new super chat from Motorsports. He says, "What do you guys think about the Floyd interview and the follow-up by Stephan?" I'm guessing he means Steven Espinoza.
Real quick before we get on to that, one of Devin's biggest flaws, a lot of people call, you talking about him going in and out, and that's the truth. He does do that, but a lot of people saying he comes in the front and the back door. He don't go off the sides a lot, and he doesn't come from a lot of different angles and move with the nice side to side head movement. Like that's one thing that's why Shakur can get real flat from time to time, because he can't come back and forth in and out. But Shakur can also hit you from off angles, like Lomachenko can hit you from off angles, and that's why people want to see him against more elite fighters, because elite fighters make you go deep in your toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like that Devin just goes, he comes forward or he backs up. But one of the smoothest things about boxers that the greats is the ones that can also come front to back, but also can go side to side and jump out the window instead of coming just the front or the back door. And it just seems like there's going to be a fighter, and it's probably going to be one of them southpaws like Loma or Shakur, or even everybody that he's supposed to fight as a southpaw. Now that I think about it, is where that jab is not going to be as easy to just pound away on people. Like, he's going to have to shoot other shots, take bigger chances. And I just feel like Shakur is the worst. Everybody in that little four kings, whatever you want to call it, has a matchup in there that just it just doesn't work for the other guy. And for Devin, I think Shakur is the worst possible matchup for him. I think his fans know it. I think his daddy know it. I think they can tell that's just a bad matchup for him. I would be more confident him watching him fighting Tank or even Ryan than fighting Shakur. I think Shakur is the worst possible matchup for him.
And I think Tank's gonna hurt him.
I still disagree with that, E-Money, just because you see Devin. I'm gonna throw Tank in there too versus a Shakur matchup. They're both more athletic than him. They can their athleticism can get out of there. When you say he can't go side to side horizontally, yes, he can. That's what he does. He gets out of the way because he's generally more athletic than his competition.
He holds. That's two different things.
No. I gave that example. Hang on, I gave that example already. I said he's going to stick his jab out there, touch you, and do what he's got to do. But if you're going to put some type of resistance up in that close proximity there, all he's got to do is he's gonna try to block that and then hold you. That's smart, man, because when you do that, he's causing the ref to come over and stop, so it's 2 versus 1, and gives him more time to reset, do what he's got to do. But that's just his tactics, brother. And
but he also been Phil Jackson, like when Phil in the playoffs would say certain things to get refs' imaginations. You see, Kambosos is doing it now, talking about being held constantly. So when a more popular fighter than Kambosos gets in there with him, their team is they're gonna probably almost damn near pick a ref that they know is pro, like somebody like Tank. Tank's gonna be the A side. they're going to have a lot of power on the say-so of what weight, this, that, and so forth.
Great, that's dandy.
So-
but you know what? He's better than Campos is. He's gonna be able to do that again and be able to do what he got to do.
That's the point I'm making. If you have to hold against a guy like Campos that you don't want to engage with, how you going to engage with Tank and Shakur and them dudes?
We'll have to wait on that. And see.
But the reason I brought that up,
those are good matchups.
I seen an interview with Teddy Atlas. He literally asked. That's literally where I picked that off from, and I always thought that. But he said it in a way that he made it more easier to understand. He said it exactly like that. He said everybody says, because I heard Roy Jones say that about Devin a lot, about he doesn't go out the sides a lot, and ever since Roy said it like 2 years ago, I paid attention to it. And then an interview that Teddy Atlas just did 3 days ago, he said the exact same thing, but he said it. I literally paraphrased what he said. He said Devin can go the front door and the back door, but he doesn't go out the sides. And then you watch his old fights. Go watch a fight and show me a round where he's hitting the guy up and then he dips out the side, or he moves. He just always goes front to forward, and that can get you caught. His chin is high, and that can get you caught going in and out. And I just feel like a fighter with Shakur's pedigree, I feel like it's an ugly fight, and that's why you're getting the energy that his dad and them are giving. Like, they really do not want like that quick. Shakur only said this 2 weeks ago, and they have been adamant with saying like Devin says. They saying everything but it say let's fight. Ain't that what Devin always say to everybody? And that's when it comes to Shakur,
because
they saying everything but let's fight.
Yeah, because Shakur, first off, I'm gonna go back to that interview. What's that guy's name? Ozana.
Hey, let me get to the super chat, but then I got to roll out of here, man. I really do got to roll today,
for sure.
Mojo said, what do you guys think about the Floyd interview and the follow-up by Steven? I got a video that you'll be able to watch in like 10 minutes about it, Motorsport. So I'm gonna hold that discussion off. Just make sure after we get off here, there's a video that's gonna come out, and I'll talk about that on that one. But
handle that phenomenon. No, I want to say it's always a pleasure. You always have great panels, so E-Moneybag, Steph, and also oh Lordy, no, hey,
talk like. And Devin ain't beating
you. Brought it up. So you were called. I'm like Candyman. You keep mentioning Devin's name, I'm gonna pop up.
He shook his hand.
Devin Haney.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop up like Candyman. But no, I hope everybody has a blessed day, and everybody, please have a great week, though.
Right,
all right, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, Terry, Terry left. I was gonna say he missed out, man, because I was at the fight last night. I was trying to convince him I was going to go scoop him up, but I know he's all hurting and recovering right now. But yeah, and then one more thing, Fanon. What I thought Terry was going to say is that you make great videos, because you do, man. I enjoy those. And I love how you always end them by saying, but I want to know what you guys want to know about that. So let's see it in the comments, but we usually come here and chop it up in the live spaces. But again, sir, those are good videos. I love those videos. I enjoy those, and they make me ponder. They make me think. So I appreciate that.
One more super chat for now.
Huh?
One more super chat pop up.
Oh, yeah. Mike Kirkland in the building said, I don't think Haney can beat Nakathila. So that's one reason I got Shakur over Haney, just my opinion. Yeah, Nakathila he's a dark horse out there, man, for sure, man. All right, man. Check you out at Trash Talk Gaming. Thank you,
all right, brother. Y'all be cool.
All right, man. We out. Peace.